Absolutely, that's spot on there. A late change for the Eastlake Demons. It's Tim Gray who was omitted, and young Benny House comes in, number 57, and also number 42, Matt Lang for the Demons. For the Tricolours there, as selected, this should be an interesting battle. Of course, congratulations to Aaron Vandenberg from the Ainslie Football Club, wearing the number 10 today. He's been selected in the under-22 side to represent the it's the AFL versus the SANFL.
Yeah, the NEAFL state squad, it's an under-22 squad. More Northerners than Easterners, but congratulations to those guys, and we'll get to them later on. But the ball is in the middle now. The umpire is bouncing up. We will have the two ruckmen go at it. It should be Andrews and possibly Gibson. Pack forms. Gibson comes through for Eastlake. Eastlake are kicking to the church end, and Ainslie kicking to the pool end. Long kick into the forward line, going to go through for a minor score. But the key component today will be who will control the middle of the ground. Gibson's obviously one of the elite ruckmen in the competition, as is Andrews, who takes this mark, falling to the ground. But Brett, it's going to be very important that middle of the ground.
Absolutely, both vying for representative honours, and Gibson probably the one form player in the competition as the ball's just chopped off there by Jack Cousins. Cousins sweeps it out to the run there of James Eastoe. Eastoe sweeps onto the left foot, bringing it down broadcast side towards the Ash Harris, but it was duly punched away by Aaron Bruce. Aaron Bruce to Hayden Armstrong, another NEAFL under-22 representative player. He pushes it down, and it's cut off by Kuzna. Kuzna gets time now, and he can size up his options. He comes back through the corridor with a poor kick into the arms of it's Matty Lang out there. Matty Lang tries to beat two or three would-be Ainslie defenders, but only succeeds in turning it over, and it's taken away by Lachlan Highfield, and it goes back towards Kuzner. Is it out there in the back half? He switches across goal. Very dangerous into the arms of Hayden Armstrong, who's going to bring the Demons' first goal and the first blood up for the Demons. That was a poor kick across field there, Michael. Not what you want from your defenders this early in the game.
No, definitely not. That's a confidence booster for Eastlake, and contrary to be very deflating for the Ainslie Tricolours, who twice tried to get the ball out of defence. It might have been the same player, and he picked out Eastlake perfectly on two occasions, and they were made to pay for their error. It's Eastlake 1 goal 1-7 to the Ainslie Tricolours, yet to score. Good start there by Eastlake. They're controlling the football, but Ainslie will need to clean up their errors if they're going to make more of an impact in this game.
Absolutely. Hayden Armstrong, obviously a confidence player, and as we mentioned at the top of the program, he was another one that was selected in that NEAFL under-22 side, so congratulations to Hayden Armstrong. Ball in the back middle of the ground there. It's Gibson who gets first hands down to Bruce, and he was tackled heavily in the middle of the ground, but the umpire elects to ball it up. Of course, Michael, Umpire Appreciation Week, you'll see the coaching staff from the respective sides. They're also playing for the D-Day Trophy, Ainslie versus Eastlake, and currently with Eastlake at the moment, the D-Day Trophy. It's out to Wiles. He gets a quick kick, and it's only as far as Dale Walker, who has his head ripped off by Lang, but it comes out towards Vandenberg, the man we spoke at the top of the program, selected in the under-22 side. He's had a stellar season, dropped a few kilos, and it's really working wonders because he's worked hard on the track as he slips over there and gives the Eastlake defender an opportunity to take it away. And that is Benny House down there, and he gets a good kick away towards Mardling, out towards the light tower here at Manuka Oval. He's a little bit indecisive. He's got leads coming. He holds the football up a little bit too long. That's the kick you need to really move quickly, Michael.
Yeah, certainly is. It just allows the Ainslie defenders to man up, and he went short. Mistake has been made. Ainslie via handball. This is Mathis around the corner looking for his teammate, but again, errors very much the way the game's going so far. Just trying to test each other out here in the early stages, a bit like a boxing fight. Handball out there by Mardling. Again, some indecision there by Eastlake, but they've used it by hand. Now they can break. Nice pass. Moody here takes the mark. He's got a player on the grandstand wing, and that player is Sam Smith, former Morris Jr. Turns inside, turns himself inside out in the end. Has some support now. Eastlake get to their half-forward line. A grubby old kick. Bounces over the players' heads and goes out of bounds for a throw-in. But already, Brett, we're seeing a lot of mistakes here. Touch of nerves, the importance of the game, but neither side are really being able to get on top at all.
Absolutely, Michael. I think it's also reflective in the games played. If you look down both lists, there's certainly some players there with only a handful of NEAFL games under their belt, and both sides ushering in the new blood in 2013. It's probably reflective of their ladder positions, but it's down towards that man Bennett, who takes another strong mark. I think he's called hands in the back there, and I think it was probably hands on the shoulder there. So Johnny Van Mewers, he plays on quickly. He's probably the form fullback in the competition. He gets a little toe poke towards, it's Gumley out there, the speedster in Gumley, 33. He gets a little kick. It's a poor kick into the middle of the ground towards McMahon. Mahon with a quick handball over to Bruce. Bruce through the centre of the ground towards Lang. He's making good space inside that forward 50, working very hard is Matthew Lang. Lang on the left foot in towards Lee McMahon, who just drifted down towards the centre of the square. He gets an opportunity to drive Eastlake into attack. Can he bring up another scoring opportunity? And it's out towards Ralston. It's put down towards his bootlaces. He takes what he drops what he should have taken out towards the small forward of Mardling. Mardling takes on 2 or 3. Another quick handball, a 1-2 to Ralston. Another shot there by Mardling. I think it's been successful. Great goal, Sammy Mardling. Good combination with Dean Ralston there in the forward 50. That's Eastlake's second. Ainslie yet to score here. Round 7 Northeastern Football League action.
Yeah, fantastic football there by Eastlake. It wasn't clean by any stretch of imagination, but they backed each other up perfectly. Always seemed to have enough players around the contest. They outnumbered Ainslie and they got the goal. Great goal there. We'll just go through some of those players for the Eastern that are in the NEAFL under-22 rep side. We have Geordie Harper from Belconnen, Nick Collins also from Belconnen, Tim Barrett from Sydney Uni, Brent McLeod from Tuggeranong, Stubbs from Hills, Kane Stevens from Queanbeyan, and the 2 that we've mentioned already, Hayden Armstrong from Eastlake and Aaron Vandenberg from Ainslie. Rucks go at it again. Good tap down there by the Ainslie ruckman in Andrews. High tackle has been called, and Bruce will take the free kick for Eastlake, just backward of the centre square, the centre circle. Goes for the barrel. Not really what any forward wants to do. That's pretty poor football by Bruce. Mark taken there by Smith. Goes to the outer side of the ground. Good work there by Ainslie. Oh, that's a fantastic grab taken in front of the scoreboard. That might be Horner there for Ainslie. Goes long. Looking down there for his forward in Gawley. Good work there by Eastlake. Gibson now has the ball. Goes short. Just finds his target. And it's a diving mark there. I think that might be Armstrong. He goes short. Playing possession football, Eastlake. Good mark there by Moody. And Moody. Back pocket for Eastlake. He goes short again. They don't mind playing the short football, do Eastlake. Very possession orientated. Wiles has the football. This is the important kick now to get it out of the zone. Again, the indecision is there. He goes back one way and then the other. Goes in short. Finds a lead of Bruce. And Bruce now just steadies down. Playing some good tempo football here, Eastlake. Don't need to rush. Just looking for that loose player. They're in control of the football match at the moment. And while they've got the football, the game's on their terms.
Absolutely, but you need the big targets. It's that second kick out of the defensive zone that Eastlake really need to work with, but it's a 50-metre penalty here to Sam Smith. It brings him right up into the middle of the ground. Of course, umpire appreciation week. I'd like to buy some real estate off that umpire out there, Michael. That was a big 50, but it's Smith with the free kick. He gets an opportunity to launch another attacking raid towards that of Armstrong, but it's chopped off there by Ash Harris, and it's Gabriel that gets a quick handball away to the trimmed beard of Rob Toohey. Toohey, that was a good kick out there, and I think it's out there. It is John Goulet. He gets the quick handball away to Vandenberg, but it's a poor kick by Vandenberg. It's turned over there towards Xavier McMahon. Probably should have taken that grab there, but it's punched out, and we'll have a boundary line thrown directly on centre wing here as both sides ring in the changes here at Manuka Oval.
Still yet to have some clean football here. Good tap down there by Gibson towards Maiden. Puts the tackle on, heavy tackle, picked up there by the Ainslie player in Highfield. But it's all Eastlake. They've got all the numbers at the contest at the moment. I don't think Ainslie will be too happy with that. Kick, scrubby kick, trapped there by Highfield. But again, numbers favour... Actually, Ainslie have got a few more players to this contest here at the moment. Picked up now again, eventually by Highfield. Gets it by hand to Gabriel. Gabriel's off. The kick's a scrubby one. Trapped there by Gibson. Gibson's under pressure. Good tackle there by Hurst, but they've got enough numbers again, but that's the umpire's called a free kick, too high. The player has not moved. That's the Eastlake player. He's on the ground at the moment. Trainers see to him, and Maiden has the ball in hand. Didn't quite see the incident because I'm blocked by the window. Did you see that, Brett?
Absolutely. It was a shot there from Gabriel on Xavier McMahon, and it actually looked to get him a little bit high. And certainly there seemed to be a little bit intent. I think the match review panel will have something to say about that come Tuesday, Michael, but he's out cold out there, Xavier McMahon, but it is a free kick to Maiden on the centre of the wing here. He gets a quick handball over to the run of Gumley. Gumley goes inboard towards that of Bruce, is it? No, it's not Bruce out there. It is Ned Brophy Williams, and it's taken away by Jack Kuzner for Ainslie. Ainslie get it down towards the centre wing, and it's just rushed over the boundary line there. I think it was out towards Sean Ellis who rushed it over there, but yeah, he hasn't moved out there. He's up on his feet now, so we don't like to see that in football at all, but he looks to be okay. And we'll see what is the outcome of that. But he gets clapped off the field here, and it's thrown in on the far side there. It's out towards Gibson and Andrews, the two form ruckman of the vying for representative selection this year, of course. The ACT representative, or the NEAFL representative side, beg your pardon, taking on Tasmania in front of... And that's a quick kick on by Bennett. Bennett, we go back to the play. Bennett on towards Ellis, and it's Sean Ellis, the former Tuggeranong junior, directly in front, 20 metres out. He'll get Ainslie's first goal for the... yes, I think he has. And the Eastlake player in Van Meulers is appealing for a touch, but no, the goal umpire says full points. Yes, going back to that representative game, Michael, it'll be the NEAFL representative side taking on Tasmania as a curtain raiser towards GWS and Port Adelaide at Skoda Stadium.
Ladies and gentlemen, at the 11-minute mark of the first quarter, the scores are Eastlake 2 goals, 1-13, Ainslie 1 goal, 6.
I couldn't have said it better myself. Yeah, the interesting thing about the rep side, Brett, is given the aftermath of last season's shellacking, you do hope that the people in the NEAFL competition make it mandatory that those are selected do play, unless obviously there's a real injury. But what we don't want is players pulling out for Mickey Mouse injuries, and we put up the sort of show that we put up last year, because it's important that we put our league on the map and continue to grow stronger and be taken seriously as a football competition.
Absolutely, Michael. I think you'll find that there's been a comprehensive review done of all of the facets of last season, and there's been a renewed emphasis and vigour put into the representative program this year, of course, coached by the former Eastlake champion and premiership winning coach Guy Cannon, and it's in the final throes of the selection party being named, and I can tell you that it will be picked on form, and there are a number of strong contenders, but it's Horner, back to the football. Out there, another one in strong contention for the ACT representative side. He's about 35 metres out here at Star Trek Oval, Monica, shooting for what could be Ainslie's second goal in about 3 minutes. He leans back on the footy, but he has no trouble in bringing up full points. So that's a good goal there to Simon Horner, the newlywed, back to his second game after he just got married a couple of weeks ago there, Michael.
Mate, you're an absolute book of knowledge, that's for sure, Brett. Did not know that. I can tell you that's his 6th goal of the season. That's about as far as my knowledge goes. And he is an ex-Perth junior. So they have come from all places around the globe to play football here in this fantastic place. Got to say that the weather out here is sensational. You'd nearly want to put the boots on yourself and get out there. It's beautiful. It's got to be early 20 degrees, hardly any wind to speak of. And so far, skills have picked up. Ainslie's got themselves back into the contest. 2-1-13 to 2 straight. They're just starting to get their hands on the football at the moment. And danger signs here for Eastlake. They need to respond quickly. Players get into each other's way there for Eastlake. Picked up now, but that's not going out anywhere. The umpire should just circle and call for a ball up. Interesting thing about that hit from Gabriel. Did you watch the football last night with Justin Kazitsky? Very, very ordinary piece of play. I hope it wasn't anything like that. But the ball is in the hands of Maiden for Eastlake. Kicks it long to the centre half forward spot. Rolson's in good position. Can't take the mark. He has some crummers to help in Lang. He's under some pressure now. The handball comes out. Eastlake running into the open goal. And that's a good goal there by the former Swan in Matt O'Dwyer. His first and Eastlake's third. Good response by Eastlake. 3 goals, 1-19 to Ainslie. 2 straight, 12.
Great curring goal there from the former Swan in O'Dwyer. He showed a clean pair of heels inside the 50 and read it nicely off the hands there. And yes, I think Justin has got a little bit to answer for. That's a sign of frustration, I think, Michael, for a bloke, if we go back to Kosicki last night. a guy that's teetering on the edge and probably reflective of where St Kilda's at. So it gets to the best of us all the time sometimes. I certainly know as you come towards the end you get a little bit frustrated and you can't do the things that the mind might be able, but the body's not willing. So maybe that's a sign there. But it's back to the middle of the ground here at Star Trek Oval, and it's Ned Brophy-Williams giving a change in there for Gibson. Probably it's like the better of the two in the middle of the ground there. Neither side really gaining ascendancy out here, but Eastlake very quick to reply there with that goal towards O'Dwyer. Umpire goes at it. Brophy-Williams with a good leap over that of Andrews. It's Bruce in there fighting hard, and he does well. Oh, and the umpire's paid a free kick the other way, and it's gone to that of John Goulet. He's in the action early, and it's out towards the leader, Bennett, fresh off 10 goals against Broadbeach. He's been the form forward of the competition. Let me tell you that. He gets up quickly, puts it around on the banana, but straight into the arms of the Eastlake defender, and he gets it quickly across the ground there, and that's a poor kick as it's cut off there by Lachlan Crook, and it's just rushed over the boundary line there. He just kicked off the step, didn't he, Michael? And he really needed to take his time and go back and make sure it's that second kick out of the defensive zone that is so important in football these days.
Yeah, I'm not a real fan of short kick in the back line unless the player is clear and can run, but teams like to play the possession game as Ainslie look to go back into attack now, but the umpire says that is out of bounds, and we'll have a ball in just on the 50-metre arc here for Ainslie. Rucks to go at it again. Brophy-Williams. Ball goes over the top of both ruckmen. Pack forms. That's not coming out. Good tackle there by the Eastlake duo. And we have a stalemate on the 50-metre line. Eastlake 3-1-19. Ainslie 2 straight 12. Neither ruckman really able to take control at the minute. Picked up now by Stoyanov. Kicked around the corner. That's going high, wide. And has it been marked? No. The umpire says it has gone out of bounds just before Martling took the mark. And Ainslie play possession football. Easto kicks it across to Tui. Again, the switch is on. Good run here by the Ainslie defender. That player is Campbell. Probably could have kept running. Decided to stop prop. Size his options. And it's a poor kick and well chopped off there by Sam Smith. But Brett, so far the skills are letting both teams down, and you hope as the day gets longer the skills get better.
Absolutely. I think we mentioned at the top of the program, both sides are boasting a lot of inexperience out there in comparison to previous years. Of course, Ainslie coming off a couple of premiership years, not so successful last year. Eastlake knocking them off in that memorable semi-final here last year in the 2012 campaign. But getting back to other games today, it's Hawks, the Tuggeranong Hawks playing Mount Gravatt Vultures. Both Tuggeranong looking for its second win of the season and Mount Gravatt looking for its first win of the season. They are up by 15 points at three-quarter time out there at Greenway Oval, and of course your old mob, the Tigers, who are sailing along nicely in 2013, up against a much improved Belconnen out at the newly crowned Nest at Kippax Oval, Michael.
Yeah, it'd be a good test for both sides out there. Belconnen obviously need to find out where they stand within the competition, and I haven't seen a lot of Queanbeyan, but I have read a fair bit about them. They haven't really hit their straps yet. They seem to be playing 1 or 2 quarters and getting across the line, so they're not in great form, but they're winning, which is a good thing for a top side. And Belconnen, I guess, will be their first test of the season proper. Should be a good game out there at the Nest. As Eastlake get a minus score. Moves to 3-2-20 to Ainslie 2 straight 12. Nice movement out of defence by Ainslie. But this is the kick that both sides have really struggled with so far in the opening quarter. Again, it's a poor kick, and Eastlake have the numbers. McMahon goes short, just pops it over across to Lang. And again, Eastlake making Ainslie pay for their errors. That situation, Brett, when you're not really sure where to go, you just go straight down the line as long as you can, kick to a tall, and hope he creates a contest.
Absolutely, and there's a real turn-up for the books in the AFL at quarter time. It is the GWS 5-2-32. Leading Essendon 1-5-11. So that is a real turn-up for the books. And, of course, there's a real battle going on in the commentary box. I'm the Kangaroos and Michael, obviously, the Port Adelaide Power. So, that match is underway down at Blundstone Arena in Hobart. We'll see who comes up victor, and can the Northerners break the the winning success of Port Adelaide. But back to the footy here at Star Track Oval. It's Vandenberg. He's done a lot of work in the pre-season and he's reaping the benefits of it now as they play this possession football and they chip it back through to Gabriel. Gabriel, he just leans back on the footy. It's over towards the run of Tui, the beardless Tui. Rob Tui now on the half-back flank. He puts it down towards the run of Andrew, but a poor kick, and it's that second kick we spoke about. He was out in space and he should have really tailed him up there, I think, Michael.
Yeah, neither coaches would be too pleased with what they've seen so far. The endeavour's definitely there, but the skill level is quite poor. And if either of these two really want to, I guess, mount that challenge for that finals spot later on down here, they've got to clean up some of this stuff. Good contest there by the two players, and one of them's come off worse for wear in Highfield. Definitely a good contest, nothing untoward. And the ball goes out of bounds. Right forward pocket for Eastlake. Might have just come down and hit the head on the ground. Rucks go at it again. Gobble at the back, gets the tap of sorts. Good handball there by the Eastlake player, Ainslie player in Ellis. Good kick out wide, and the mark has been taken by Nick Hayne, the former St Kilda player. Goes long, and why wouldn't you when you got this bloke down there in Bennett? I've already said he kicked 10 goals last week against Broadpeach, 25 for the season, most productive so far. And I think the nearest to him might well be Kavanagh has 18, and I think Mitch Morton might also have 18. So he's a long way ahead at the moment. Kavanagh obviously playing out there at the Nest this afternoon. Ainslie need a goal here. They're just not travelling that well, and their foot disposal has not been good. And I reckon Coach Rourke would not be too pleased with what he's seen in the first 20-odd minutes.
Absolutely, but we saw with Marcus Crook in the middle of the ground there, the guys that can use the ball a bit better. It's out to McMahon, who takes a running bounce in the centre of the ground. He gets it onto that trusty left boot, down towards that of Mardling. It's punched away by the defence of Ainslie, and it's a good shepherd put on there by, I think it's young Jeremy Hurst, who's impressed in the opening stages here. He finds Hayne again, the former Carlton and St Kilda player, in his first season for the Tricolours. He's a little bit indecisive with the footy. He now looks towards the run and that of Bennett. The good lead there by Bennett hits him up nicely, and that's a good lead there from Bennett and a good grab above his head. So he gets to shoot for what could be his first of the afternoon. We've just had a score come through from Greenway. Tuggeranong have racked up their second win of the season, defeating the Mount Gravatt Vultures, who remain winless for season 2013, 67-63. So a 4-point victory out there to the Hawks. So that's a great effort there. That'll please Coach Peter McGrath. And that's a really good positive start again for the Tuggeranong Hawks out there. But back to the footy here at Star Track Oval. It's Bennett lining up for his first attempt for the afternoon as he comes in on a 47 metres out. He leans back on the footy, not enough punch in it. He puts it down there towards that of Horner. Horner gets it rushed away there, and it's taken into the arms there of the Ainslie small forward. I can't quite pick out who it is, but it's out to Vandenberg. Gets one off the slide of the boot there, and it hits the post. But a good effort there from Aaron Vandenberg inside the forward 50. That's their first behind for the afternoon. It is Ainslie trailing Eastlake 13-20.
Yeah, well done to Tuggeranong, and I'm not quite sure of the numbers, but the Easterners are doing the job over the Northers at the moment in the early stages of season 2013, and the gap is definitely closing, Brett, and you would like to see a rep game maybe this year, given what transpired last year and the fact that we are winning more games than we're losing against the Northers. But the ball is on the outer side here at Star Track Oval. Eastlake go into their attacking zone. Should be marked here by McMahon, but the ball, again, it's a poor kick. And that seems to be the order of the day at the moment. But you notice the difference when the ball gets into players' hands who have good skills. You mentioned Crook earlier, and Nick Hayne, that was a fantastic pass. Great lead, but it was pinpoint there by Hayne. Dropped there by Tui, but he's got enough time. Just pops it out to his teammate in Barry. Barry now in the back pocket there for Ainslie. Goes long. Searching pass. Ainslie not really making too much headway, but they should now as the pass comes out to the lead. Can't quite pick up who that player was, but again, his kick's a bit astray. Ainslie have the numbers. Mark taken here, but dropped. Barry was in good position, couldn't take the mark, but here's a chance to run. Someone's going to take the game on. This is what we want to see. Good football there by the Ainslie player. Kicks it out towards his teammate in Hayne. Doesn't quite get the mark. Comes up again. Hayne, how's his skill level? How will it bounce? It's going to bounce over Johnny Van Muir's head. Is it for a goal? That's a great goal by Nick Hayne. But the key to that was the running power of, I can't quite pick up who it was.
Yeah, great running bounce there from Dale Walker, the creative halfback for Ainslie. So showed all his skill there, Nick Hayne, in being able to just size the opponent. He didn't blaze away at goal. He thought his way through it. Nice little clever kick off the left banana, and it resulted in full points for the Tricolours out here at Star Track Oval. And they bring the score within 1 point to Eastlake. So it's Eastlake 3-2-20 to Ainslie 3-1-19 as the ball's brought back to the middle of the ground. And we talk about those foot skills, and there we go. We saw it on display there from the former AFL player in Nick Hayne, who's had what some would say a slow start to the season, Michael, but it's back to the middle of the ground. It's in towards Gibson and Andrews. They go at it. Little Shawnee Ellis uses his pace to go after the footy. He gets a clear bounce at it, beating Matty O'Dwyer. It's out towards there of Hayne again. That man's having some sort of a first quarter, and he has an opportunity to kick Ainslie's fourth and put another wedge towards Eastlake. They really need to be able to defend, Michael, in that situation. They're just slow to react. They tend to get caught out ball watching, I think, sometimes, Eastlake.
Yeah, a lot of that comes down to the lack of pressure from the players in the middle. Can't really blame the Eastlake defence there. It was more the lack of pressure on Ellis in particular. And that's a good-looking kick there, and it goes through for another major. Ainslie have their fourth. It's 4 goals, 1-25. Eastlake, 3 goals, 2-20. The last 5 minutes, Ainslie have just got their bodies in front at the moment. They're first to the ball. More numbers around the contest, which is in stark contrast to the first 10 minutes of this first term, where it seemed to be Eastlake who had all the numbers at the contest and had the run of the ball. Not much you can do down there as a defender. Perfect pass. And Hayne went back and kicked his second goal of the afternoon, and he's becoming quite potent. Nice duo down there with Hayne, and obviously the leading goal kicker in the competition in Bennett.
Absolutely, as the two ruckmen go at it, it was Andrews, and it's a quick getaway there by Ash Harris. Ash Harris towards Hayne again. Hayne, he's doing a mountain of damage down there. Goulet tries to go, but it's Hayne, that man, again, he pushes out the ball towards, I think it's number 12 out there. It is Clint Mathis. He gets another snap at goal, and I think that's gone through for full points. Well done to Clint Mathis, but strong body work there by Hayne. He didn't go to ground. He just stood firm and handballed over the back there to the voice of Mathis, and it gets another reward there for Ainslie. So really putting their bodies on the line at the moment and reaping the rewards here at Star Track Oval in Manuka.
Yeah, just used all his experience there, did Nick Hayne. A lot of experience in that young body of his, but you know the key component was him keeping his feet. Once you go to ground, you're rendered useless on a football field. You can't do anything for your teammates. They couldn't get him to ground. He got the handball out. It was a great snap there by Clint Mathis, the former Western Creek player. And the umpires will bounce the ball up again. In ruck for Eastlake will be Andrews, and Gibson will be in ruck for Eastlake. Good bounce. Gibson gets the tap down. This is where they need to start getting the ball out the middle. They do so through Stoyanov. Kicks it to the half-forward line. Pack forms. Who's going to have the pace? Ralston gets too much pace there from Gobber. But the kick's not good. I don't know how many times we've seen the ball go out of bounds on the full in this first term, but it's got to be at least half a dozen. The umpire wanting the player to come over the mark. Quite ticky touchwood, but I guess it is Umpire Appreciation Day, as you say, so we've got to appreciate their decisions. Oh, he's going to pay 50, is he? No. Common sense? No, he is. I thought common sense might prevail. The player didn't really get touched and he dropped his legs, but I guess, Brett, you don't really need to be in that situation to cause the umpire to give you a 50.
Yeah, I think the umpires have been fairly good in that you've got to clear the mark and you're not to hold up play. And I think that's a great rule, particularly at the AFL, which is filtered down to the lower levels of competition. But it's that man Bennett again, creating all sorts of havoc in the middle of the ground as a fly flows in through the commentary box. It's down towards Hayne, who jumps at it one-handed in front of Van Muers, and he's tackled as he goes to the ground is Johnny Van Muers, and that'll result in a ball up 40 metres from the Ainslie goal. And with another scoring opportunity, they've got a lot of midfield strike power, haven't they, the Tricolours?
They definitely have. Eastlake need to hold firm here. Ball's going to go deep into their forward line of Ainslie. The pack forms. Good mark taken there by Maiden. Definitely tried and true, that fella. Been around for a while, has Maiden. always gives 110%. I like the way he goes about it too. Short kick out of defence. It's not good. Punch should have come there from the Ainslie player in Horner, but he's got some support. Handball now in the hands. It's Gawley. He's had a pretty good opening turn. This should be Bennett. Oh, no, it goes to the back of the pack. Johnny Van Meuers is in front of his opponent in Hayne, and the handball comes out. Eastlake will relieve the pressure. They've been under a fair bit the last 10 minutes. They need some scoreboard pressure, but they're not going to get it with bad handballs like that. They've got the numbers there. Just their skill level at the moment. They really haven't improved that since the opening bounce. And a good mark there taken by the Ainslie player on the outer side wing. Umpire calls play on, looking for a teammate. He's got himself in trouble here. He's going to go. Good tackle there by Eastlake, but they have the support, and that's been the difference in the last 10, 15 minutes. Ainslie seem to have all the support. Pack forms, comes to the back of the pack. Luck's a fortune. Ainslie should get a goal here. Good, unselfish football, and the mark has been taken by Mathis. And he should go back and slot his second goal of the afternoon and Ainslie's sixth. But Ainslie just seem to have all the answers at the moment. Brett and Eastlake need to respond and respond quickly.
Absolutely. Good coaching there by Rourke. He's got a deadly little setup there in the forward 50 with Bennett, Nick Hayne, Simon Horner, and of course Mathis. They've got a lot of leg speed, exploiting the bigger bodies of Van Meuers and Perry for the Eastlake Demons. Just been unable to cope with when the ball's coming to the ground. They're just sweeping it away. A little bit critical of the Eastlake defenders that need to sweep back and create and give them a little bit of a hand in the back 50 there. So, should realise that the more experienced players of O'Dwyer, Bruce and that need to drop back and help their defenders out. So Ainslie being very well coached at the moment, so they'll have to rectify that, but they skip further away here at Star Trek Oval in Manuka. Of course, Eastlake kicking towards the church end and Ainslie kicking down towards what would call the Kingston end, Michael, or the pool end here at Manuka.
I just find Eastlake having a lot of trouble getting the ball out of their defensive 50, and it's probably their own worst doing by the fact they keep trying to pick up short passes, 10, 15 metre passes. It doesn't matter if the player has 2 or 3 on him, like that last situation there where they went for a short pass with 2 or 3 opponents around the Eastlake player. That situation, they just need to go along to their big, tall timber, and they've really struggled to get out of that. It's probably been one of their downfalls, for not just today, but probably for a couple of seasons now, Brett.
Absolutely. I think that comes down to some of the recruitment as the siren sounds for quarter time. Ainslie with a comfortable lead here. It's 6 goals, 1, leading Eastlake 3 goals, 2, so 37-21 here at quarter time, Star Trek Oval.
About to start the second term here at Star Trek Oval in Manuka. Ainslie got the best of the back end of that quarter to go into the lead. 6-1-37 to Eastlake, 3-2-20. And it's quarter time at the Nest, and it's Belconnen. They are 4 goals, 5-29. They lead the Tigers 3-1-19. As rucks go at it here, comes out to Eastlake. They need to respond after that pretty average second part of that first term. Comes down to the ground, but again, Ainslie have all the numbers, but good tackle. Spun him around, nearly holding the ball there. Picked up now by Eastlake in Wiles, but again, a pack forms, and the ball eventually goes out of bounds. Good pressure there from the Eastlake forwards and the Ainslie backman. Good contest all round. Are we going to see an upset down there at the Nest? That would definitely put the cat amongst the pigeons. And they'll be crowing a bit out there. They've had a pretty dark couple of years out at Belconnen. Good contest here. Picked up by McMahon. Gets the handball to Moody. Moody, quick kick. Forwards in front where they should be. But again, Ainslie seem to have the numbers. Luck's a fortune. Pops out to Ralston around the corner. Got to do a fair bit of work from there. And goes out of bounds on the full. But the endeavour's definitely there for Eastlake, Brett. They just need a bit better in the execution department.
Absolutely lacking a little bit of polish. I noticed you omitted the top score there at Blundstone Arena. It's North Melbourne leading Port Adelaide by 27 points down there at Blundstone, Michael. No coincidence you missed that one, was it? It's taken away back here at Manuka as it's rushed through by the Ainslie defender by some solid pressure there for Eastlake. So this will be an interesting kick-in to see how they do manage it. They need to go long, and I think it's Marcus Crook down there he kicks it to himself, is it? Yes, it's It's Crook. He brings the ball in by foot out towards the lead there of Horner, who's working up and down the ground. That's a long lead. Horner, who's playing at centre half forward for the Tricolours. He's been called to play on now. He ignores the run of Vandenberg. It's taken down towards the centre wing there, and that's a good grab there by Goulet. Is it another handball out to Aaron Vandenberg? Vandenberg through the middle of the ground to the run of Ash Harris. He takes an uncontested mark right in the centre of the square. He gets onto the left boot in towards the run there of Bennett, and it was punched away by Van Muels in solid defence, but that's where Bennett is really good on the ground, and his recovery is second to none, and the Eastlake defenders crashing in there, and there's a free kick being picked out of that towards, I think it's Nick Hayne, that man who caused all the damage in the first quarter. It's Hayne lining up for what could be his third. No, it's not Nick Hayne, it's Jed Costigan, the youngster for Tricolours lining up there. Of course, he was in over the footy, and he's been rewarded for his effort as Costigan comes in 45 close to the man on the mark, but he's just pushed it towards the left of the big sticks here at the Star Trek Oval, and that's a rush behind to the Tricolours, their first score of the quarter. So they still lead Eastlake 6-38 to 3 goals to 21. 3 goals 3, that is 21. When I went to school, mathematics. But back in towards O'Dwyer. O'Dwyer with a handball only as far as his opposite in Vandenberg. Vandenberg gets it onto Tui. Tui punches it inboard, and he's taken down by the leg there. Unlucky not to get a free kick was that of Jack Kuzner, but it's a free kick gone the other way here to the Eastlake defender out there. I can't quite pick up who it is. I think it is it's young Ben House. No, it's actually Matty Lang out there who was... out there, and what's the umpire done here? He's called it back, and it's out towards Mardling. Mardling with the ball in hand. It's a poor kick out towards Bruce. He was necked as he tried to take that mark, and he'll get a free kick in a very scrappy affair as he pushes it by foot across to the heavily bandaged Nick Perry. Perry gets it on his boot towards Van Muers, and he was met solidly there by young Barry there for Chris Barry, who's come off a nasty injury. It's out towards the run of Sam Smith. Sam Smith, he was chased down there by Chris Barry, but he gets a kick away. Ralston caught behind. Dale Walker doing a super job down there, but he takes on the 3 defenders, Ralston, rushes it over what will be a boundary line throw in deep in the Eastlake forward line.
Yeah, probably should have led more at the player then. Just was happy to get behind the player, and as a forward, you've got to make the player with the football, you make up his own mind, and just to bomb it up and take the defensive area from behind. You're not going to mark too many from that, particularly these days where if you touch them in the back, it's a free kick. But Eastlake get a quick kick away. It was McMahon, hits his own ball, and it goes out of bounds in the left forward pocket. Any goal here to Eastlake. They're currently behind 6-2-38 to 3-3-21. We have to let people know that the scoreboard is not working here, so you're going to rely on our mathematics. We could be in trouble for the rest of the afternoon, that's for sure. Rucks go out of the game, picked up there by Rolston. Handballs across to McMahon, who misses. He was on his right side, which is his wrong side. He's a natural left footer. And a minor score to Eastlake. They move to 3 goals, 4-22. Ainslie, 6 goals, 1-37.
Really important point you just raised there as the forward leading. You make the ball kicker make the decision. You make him make the decision when you're the ball carrier. You take the decision out of his hands by making him kick. That's the difference between a good forward, like the leading forwards, and that's how you make the decisions. But it's that man Hayne inside the forward 50 there. He gets a quick handball out towards Jed Costigan. Aaron Vandenberg is working out there like he's working his backside off. It's towards Bennett. He's going to take on 3 of the defenders. Gets to the front position, down towards the crumb of Ellis. Ellis wraps it onto the left boot, and it just trickles through for a minor score, but he's dynamite around that front and centre is Sean Ellis, the former Tuggeranong junior, and it's brought in quickly by Perry. Perry looks towards McMahon, and what's a poor kick out towards Bruce, and that's come off his shin. It should have been out of bounds on the full, but the umpire has let him off with that one, and will be a boundary line throw in 60 metres from the Eastlake goal. Probably should have been a little bit better there, but just their basic foot skills are letting Eastlake down at the moment, Michael.
Yeah, they certainly have thus far. Long way to go in the game, though, and they're not far enough behind to concede, that's for sure. Anything could happen. Pack forms here. Umpire letting the ball go. It's good umpire. He's going to have to call it up pretty soon. But you're right about Rolston. If he demands the football, he takes the decision-making away from the player with the ball. Rolston's a pretty quiet by nature sort of a fella, and but He just needs to demand the football a bit more, and he'll get a lot more opportunities as Eastlake try and work it by hand out of defence. They need to get the ball on the boot pretty soon. Good skills there by the Eastlake player to give himself a bit more time. And the pass was a good one, but the mark was dropped there by Lang and goes out of bounds about 75 metres around from the Ainslie goal. They'd be pretty happy so far. Looked a bit scratchy in the first 10 minutes, but definitely taken control from midway through that first term. Gibson's in good position, taps it down. It's Eastlake going to be first. He ducked his head into that one, did Moody. Crowd wanted too high, but he did duck the melon, that's for sure. Picked up now, and Ainslie. No, good tackle there by Eastlake. The tempo's lifted. Some pretty aggressive work done there by Aaron Wiles. Happy to meet body on body, that's for sure. It'll be good to see the heat sort of raised a bit in this game, Brett. There's a bit of a stalemate at the moment. Not too much is really happening.
Absolutely, as we said at the top of the program, Michael, though, both sides fielding a lot of inexperienced players with not a lot of football experience, and they're going through some transition periods. It's Mardling taking on the defence over to Matty Lang, who's been most impressive. He puts it on towards that of, down towards there, towards Jake Gumley, who looks like he's moved forward out towards the run of Ralston. Ralston bangs it onto the right foot, and he kicks it astray there. So yet another minor score for the Demons. Not putting the scoreboard pressure on. They've had a couple of opportunities early in this first quarter, but not hurting Ainslie on the scoreboard. As it's, I think it's Crook that brings, it's Rob Toohey, sorry, that brings the ball back in towards Hurst, and that's out of bounds on the full. He tried to disguise it, young Hurst, but not clever enough. It's into the hands of Moody. Joshua Moody for Eastlake. He is a ball magnet. Sometimes his disposal gets a little bit wayward, but he puts the ball right inside the forward 50 there. It's Gumley, and the small forward flies again with the taller forwards. So interesting. And it's a quick kick taken in there to Barry, who's covering a lot of territory for the Tricolours. He's been very good out there, ball in hand. He takes on Dwyer on the centre of the wing there, puts the ball towards Horner, but it was duly chopped off there by young Scotty Bowden. Bowden comes inboard towards Stoyanov. Stoyanov, the heavily bandaged left knee out there. It gets towards Benny Maiden, the son of a gun. Benny Maiden feigns a handball. He's going to get caught if he doesn't get rid of it, but it's over to Stoyanov again, and it's in towards that of Matty Lang. Matty Lang with the ball in hand. He's been quite productive in the first quarter and a half to date. So my first look at Matty Lang for the season, impressed with what I've seen. He drives the ball down there towards the run of Xavier McMahon, who marks inside the 50. So clever running there by Xavier McMahon, who copped an early head knock and looked like he was down for the count, but he's done well to bounce back there, Michael.
Yeah, good lead, and the pass was pinpoint. Beautiful work by Lang. Just needs to go back, go through his routine. Team really need this goal. They've still in a bit of a flow. It's 6 goals, 3-39 to 3 goals, 4. Sorry, 3 goals, 6, I should say. And again, that's poor disposal. And I guess we're going to keep repeating it until it changes, that the skill level so far, particularly from Eastlake, has not been good. Just need to put some scoreboard pressure. 3-6-24 is Eastlake. Ainslie are 6 goals, 3-39. Kick down the line to the wing. Good contest there by the two players. Come to the back of the pack. Picked up there by Smith. Smith around the corner. Looks like that must have been smothered. And the ball goes out of bounds for a throw in here at Star Track Oval. Not really much happening at the moment, Brett. So we'll just talk about the forward line again of Eastlake. Even that last entry, the player didn't really lead with any conviction. Just sort of waved the hand around saying, hey, kick it in this sort of area here and I'll have a crack at it. You really got to demand the football and as you say, force his hand. But you've got to do it with some conviction, that's for sure.
Absolutely, Michael, and I guess even if you don't have a strike forward, you've got to have repeated efforts, and that's what needs to happen in today's modern footy. It's no good to just stand there and say, oh, yeah, give it to me, give it to me. It's about repeated efforts, and it's making the defender tire off and lose concentration. That's what you really need to do. You don't have to be the world's best goal kicker or anything like that. It's your work rate inside that forward 50, and that's something that they're not doing for each other. The Eastlake side is they haven't got a consistent enough work rate. But back to the footy, as it's Perry. He gets the handball off there to Moody. Moody with a short chip out towards Aaron Bruce. Aaron Bruce sizes up going forward 50. It's the only man inside the forward 50 there was young Dan O'Connell, the boy from the River Arena. Of course, his father, Robbie, played for Eastlake way back in the 90s with... there, and it's Chris Barry, who's been quite a good player out there for the Tricolours in these first quarter and a half, and he gets it over to there of Jack Kuzner. Much better by foot, the Tricolours at this stage of the game. It's Kuzner. He elects to go backwards, and it's back down there towards Tui. Tui with a little chip towards Vandenberg, the most improved player in the competition, I believe. He gets caught with the foot. He's made a liar of me, and it has been holding the ball. So that's a great tackle out there to Sammy Martling. That's the forward pressure we're talking about. Not enough of it, though, Michael.
Yeah, that was great work. Now he's just got to go back and slot the goal. They really need this one to go through the big sticks. I have to say, the endeavour from both sides is pretty even. It's just that difference in skill level at the moment. But if they can slot this one through, they'll find themselves right back into the contest. Not out of it now, but just on balance of play they are. Looks good off the boot. Straight over the umpire's hat. That's a great goal by Sam Marling. That's his second. And funnily enough, Eastlake get the first goal of the second term. They move to 4 goals 6, and that's 30 to Ainslie. They are 6 goals 3, 39. So much needed goal there by Eastlake, and you hope that that gives them a bit more as the announcement comes over.
4 goals 6, 30 to Ainslie 6 goals 3, 39.
Yes. Exactly what I just said 5 seconds earlier. But looking at AFL score, it's half-time in the AFL, and it's a GWS Giants. 7 goals 5, 47. Lead the previous undefeated Essendon, 3 goals 8, 26. So both of the undefeated top sides, Essendon and Port Adelaide, struggling at this stage, Brett.
Absolutely, with the Kangaroos having a record first quarter down there at Blundstone Arena with a their highest first quarter start against Port Adelaide. So go you Roos. But back to the footy here at Star Trek Oval in Manuka. It's that man Barry again. He gets a quick kick out there towards Sean Campbell. It is for the Tricolours. Campbell with a running handball over towards Barry, who's run up very nicely. I've been very impressed with what I've seen. It's to that man again, Hayne, showing all the experience. Got caught behind the defender. Didn't panic and just allowed to read the drop zone on the footy, and Nick Hayne will line up for what could be his 3rd goal, and it could be the Tricolours' 8th goal for the afternoon. But in a glorious day here, basked in sunshine, perfect autumn Canberra day, as Nick Hayne will ride this home. He needs to push it towards the right-hand goalpost to give it a little bit of swing. Let's see how he goes as he comes in 35 metres out, and he just didn't push it far enough towards the goalpost, and it's gone out of bounds on the full.
Yeah, difference there was the fact that he actually kept his eyes on the ball, where the Eastlake opponent was too right about what Hayne was doing. So he's definitely causing some angst down there in the Eastlake defence. That looked like a half volley, but the umpire's given the benefit of doubt. And Eastlake, how will they get the ball out of defence here? Good pass. Mark taken there by Ryle. Void of ideas of what to do, so he does the correct thing, goes long and strong. Good mark taken there by the Ainslie player in Tui. The switch is on. Oh, he ducked his head there, did the player in Barry. He's had a pretty good opening quarter and a half, but he would like to repeat that one again in a different manner. Pressure's on, butters up, good tackle there. Eastlake should get the ball forward. He doesn't know where he's going. Handball's back. It's a good handball in the end. Good work there by Wiles. Wiles kicks it short. They should take a mark here in their forward line, and they do. And that's a good mark there by Armstrong. But Wiles took the game by the scruff of the neck, ran through a few players, and the pass was a good one. And Armstrong, again, just needs to go back, go through his routine. Be kicking from probably on the paint there at the 50-metre line. As Bruce comes off for Eastlake. Kicks on its way. It looks like it's got the journey. It's coming around nicely. That's his 2nd. And Eastlake, they get their 5th. It's 5 goals 6, 36 to 6 goals 3, 39.
Yeah, good effort there from Hayden Armstrong. Probably needs to play a little bit closer to goal, and so he gives them that taller target and allow Ralston to be the lead-up target and use his pace towards there. I would probably reverse the roles, but a good shot there from Hayden Armstrong. He just returned back from the ground, but as you said, it always come back from the half-back flank there. Wiles, he took on the Ainslie defenders, and he ran and broke the line and was able to kick over the line to the waiting arms of Hayden Armstrong. As the ball comes back to the middle of the ground, it'll be Big Gibson against, it'll be out there for the tricolours, it'll be John Goulet in the middle. He contested the centre square and he's knocked flat on his face. Is Johnny Goulet. He's holding his face. He doesn't look in very good shape out there. He's going to have to go for a repeat effort out there in the middle of the ground after he copped a heavy head clash. But it's Goulet up against Gibson, and he gives a good account of himself only as far as Vandenberg. Vandenberg out towards Harris, the stronger-bodied Harris, out towards O'Dwyer with the back of the flight of the footy. It's out towards Fleming. Fleming gets a worm burner in towards Bennett. Bennett takes on the opposed, tries to wrong footing, but it's to that speedy little Sean Ellis. And Shawnee Ellis, the Tuggeranong import, he's kicked his first for the afternoon. He's kicked the tricolours. It's his second for the afternoon. He's kicked the tricolours first for the quarter. So that's a good goal to Sean Ellis. And the tricolours skip further away here at Star Trek Oval.
Yeah, it's looking pretty dangerous down there is Ellis. Great work there by the full forward in Bennett. Beautiful pickup. And Ellis, where all good crummers should be, at the front and square. And he got the goal. Ainslie needed that goal. They moved to 7 goals, 3. And back in my day, that should be, what, 7 goals, 3, 45. And Eastlake are sitting on 5 goals, 6, 36. So they've got that 1.5 to 2 goal buffer again. Rucks go at it in the middle. Good tap down there by Gawley. Eastlake get the ball, Ainslie get the ball out of the middle again. It's going to be picked off by the Eastlake defence. Ball's in the hands now of Smith. I've liked his game. Gets the ball out towards Maiden. Decision to time to be made. Maiden just goes straight at the football as he always does. Good tackle there by the Ainslie player in Hurst. Forces Maiden over the line and we'll have a ball in right in front of the Ainslie dugout. They'd be happy to be in front, but maybe not too happy with the way the second quarter has panned out so far. Again, the big men go at it. Tap down to the advantage of Wiles. He couldn't take it. Good work there by Stoyanov. Gets a handball out to Perry. Perry goes in the forward 50. Was that hanging on? No. Umpire says no. Picked up there by Gumbley around the corner. Kicks a good one. At the back of the pack is Marr. The umpire's going to call. He's called it for shepherding. I just thought he held his ground pretty well. And not a free kick for mine, but we have to appreciate that decision.
Absolutely. I thought that was quite clever there from the small forward in Mardling, who's showing to be a very attacking weapon down there for Eastlake inside the forward 50. But it's by foot. That's a poor kick there from Lachlan Highfield straight into the waiting arms of Wiles. What will Wiles do with this footy? He's got a lead there from Armstrong. Armstrong leads strong at the footy, allows Walker to come over the back and just punch it away. Doesn't quite have that ability yet to be able to take the ball at its highest point, Michael, and that's where you need to take it. He just sort of stuck the arms up there in the air and allowed it to go through. He sort of needs to learn the art of forward play, but playing in that under-22 representative side, being coached, of course, by Sean Hart and ably assisted by Damien Tuck, the former Belconnen player who's done a lot of work in the junior football development these days. He should probably learn something out of that. It's out towards Maiden and Smith, and they collide there as Sammy Smith puts on a strong shepherd. Maiden gets a quick handball out towards Bruce. Bruce's ball has been smothered there by Vandenberg. His working rate is absolutely phenomenal at the moment, Aaron Vandenberg. He's in everything out there, but it's a free kick. The umpires picked a free kick out there to Jed Costigan. And he's on the bottom of every pack. No, he's paid it out towards Aaron Bruce, is it? Bruce has got a free kick. He gets a quick kick over towards Maiden inside the forward 50. He gets to launch a long bomb down inside the centre square. It's Armstrong who gets to have a shot at it. It's missed by O'Connell down there. O'Connell that somehow winds up with it with his left foot. It's Dan O'Connell, the Riverina product, on the left boot. He just rushes a quick kick for a behind. That's their fifth for the quarter. Really should have been making a lot more of it in this second quarter because they could have had it on their terms. Instead, they still trail the tricolours here at Star Trek Oval, Monica.
Yeah, they've had all the running so far in the second term, just haven't put the scoreboard pressure on. The coaching staff for me, so we're pretty happy though. because they would think that the tide would turn and eventually the goals would start to come, but not with passes like that. Good cut-off mark there taken by Campbell. No, it's not Campbell. It is Highfield. Highfield goes out wide. Just need to control a bit of tempo here, do Ainslie. They're under the cosh a little bit, but not being made to pay as Hayne takes the ball over the line, and we'll have a boundary throw in. And you're having a bit of a chuckle there. Why, Port getting smashed even further, are they?
They trailed by 31 down at Blundstone Arena, so I'm not having much of a chuckle there. I think Chad Wingard, the number 20 for the Port Adelaide, kicked one of their first goals, but I was having a chuckle at Hine, having a jump on the boundary line fence there. But back here at the action at Star Trek Oval, it's Dan O'Connell working hard in there, but it's out towards the run of Ash Harris. Harris onto Highfield. Highfield onto Vandenberg, and it's followed up there by Lachlan Highfield. He gets a good kick away towards Jeremy Hurst. I've been impressed with this young fella's get up and go out there. It's his decision making. Let's see what he does with the footy. It's a nice little kick. He looks for the run of it was the run there of Clint Mathis. It just wasn't good enough to kick, but his work rate's quite good and he's quite solid over the footy. So he's having a good game out there as young Jeremy Hurst. As the umpire right on centre wing elects to bounce the ball. He throws the ball in. It's Horner goes battle with Gibson. Gibson uses that big frame to go away with it. It jams it on the boot. Down towards that of Ralston. Drops what he should have taken. Tackled whilst not in position. Quick enough to get onto those go legs and get out to Matty Lang. Matty Lang on the left boot, and he gets a good kick away towards the there of Gumley. Gumley has been a welcome addition upside there in the forward 50 for the Eastlake Demons, and he's having his first shot on goal. Let's see how he goes inside 50 as we ride at home. He's about 40 metres out. He gets close to the man on the mark, but he should make no mistake right over the umpire's hat. She has no hesitation in putting the two arms out. That's Eastlake's second for the quarter, and they're third for the quarter, so they're really dominating this second quarter of play out here at Star Trek Oval.
They certainly are. That's their third. They've kicked 3 goals, 5 for this term. They moved to 6 goals, 7, and that's 43. Ainslie are 7 goals, 3, 45. So 2-point ball game here at Star Trek Oval. And Eastlake just getting on top in this second term. Really should be in front and by a couple of goals on the balance of this term. Had a lot of the ball inside their forward 50. If it has had that forward who is willing to take the game on, like a Hayne. Back in the middle. Gibson, giving a little bit in there. He's rucking against Gabriel. Ball comes out to Stoyanov. Goes one way, goes the other way, gets around 2 players, gets the ball into the forward 50. Rolson again goes behind. Good shark there by Gumley around the corner. How's that? It's not a bad looking kick from Gumley. He scored. That's a great goal by Gumley, a team lifter. And Eastlake kicked their 4th of this second term. They moved to 7 goals, 7. That's 49 to Ainslie. They are 7 goals, 3, 45. 4-point Eastlake lead.
Absolutely good work by the Demons to get themselves in front there. They've had the run of the play here at Star Trek Oval, and that's been a masterstroke by Coach Burke to put young Gumley down in the forward 50 there. He's bobbed up with a couple, and he's creating all sorts of opportunity because he's got leg speed, and that's what it's all about. If you can't have a tall target down there, you need to have repeat efforts, and that's why he's actually done really well down there, is because he's having repeat efforts down there, and they're capitalising on the work of Gibson in the middle of the ground. It's Gibson to do battle with Gabriel. It favours Gibson. Gibson gets a big arm onto it and towards that of Armstrong, but it was tapped over by Ryle. Ryle gets it only as far as the Ainslie defender in Sean Campbell. He gets it to the run of James Eastoe. Eastoe is doing battle out there with McMahon. McMahon is the victor there. It's on to Martling. Martling onto O'Dwyer. O'Dwyer takes on one. The number 17 with the silky skills hits up Gumley. That man again drops what he should have taken. He followed his good work up in, and he puts it forward, and it's taken away there by the Tricolours defence. It's taken away over towards Aaron Vandenberg. Vandenberg deep in the forward 50, out towards the run of Walker. Walker gets it across by hand over towards the lead there of Barry. Barry drops what he should have taken in towards the front and centre of Hurst. He was in the right position. I thought he actually deliberately pushed the ball over the line. Some good pressure there from Scott Bowden and Xavier McMahon forced a boundary line throw in, so they're defending a lot better in this quarter, and they've got their noses in front. As they go at it again, it's Gobriel versus Gibson, only as far as McMahon. That was smothered by Ash Harris. Hurst, that man again, he gets it out towards Horner. Horner takes him on, and the big man, as he should, to the run of Harris. Harris playing in the midfield. He gets it down to the class of Hayne. Hayne wheels onto the left foot, outside 50, in towards Bennett. Bennett caught behind to that man, Johnny Van Mills. You can't play Van Mills from behind because he'll beat you every time, Josh Bennett. There's a lesson for you. It's out to Van Mills. He gets it over to the speedy Sam Smith. Smith tries to take something off it, and that he does. It's out towards Van Mills again as he switches play over towards Van Mills as Eastlake really take the heat out of the game as they play statistic football, and it comes across to Smith. Smith out towards Wiles. It's a half volley. Wiles has to take him on now. He waits to draw the player in Smith. He needs to take more of a run and a bounce out towards Armstrong. Armstrong with the hands above the head. He takes a good grab. He wheels into the centre of the ground. Out towards Dan Ryle. Ryle gets an opportunity. Play on quickly, son, whilst you can. He takes it up and it's out towards Ralston, and he's got a shot on goal. So they worked it well out there, Eastlake. Well done to the Demons.
Yeah, really good forward play there by Ralston. Everyone was streaming towards the goal square. He started to, and then doubled back and ran at the player and forced the player to kick to him. Fantastic lead there by Ralston. Been starved of opportunities as far as goals are concerned. Needs to go back. He's the spearhead. Needs to go back and slot this through to continue the momentum for Eastlake. Kicks on its way. It's not going to score a goal. Goes through for a minor score. They're peppering the goals at the moment. That's their 6th behind of this second term. They're 7 goals 8 to Ainslie. They are 7 goals 3. And the ball goes out of bounds just outside the 50 for Eastlake. But they have to be well impressed with the way they've gone this second term, Brett. They've definitely showed a bit more composure with the football, and they've helped each other out. They play some really good team stuff.
Absolutely. It's those repeat efforts that we talk about, and that's that you get reward for your effort, Michael, in those situations. Ralston, he went back, and then he doubled back onto the player, which resulted in a shot on goal. And that's what you need to do is repeat efforts. And full credit to young Gumley down there, because he's the one who's led the charge with the defensive pressure down there, and they're continuing, and it's been infectious down there, hence the scoreboard pressure, and they're now getting reward for their effort on the scoreboard. But you'd be pleased to know Port have kicked the last 3 down there in Hobart, and we don't have a score from the nest over at Kipax there, so we'll bring you updated when we get that one. But back to the play here at Star Trek Oval. It's Vandenberg who's playing deep. No, it's Tui on his hands and knees. It's a wild air swing down there, but Dan Ryle gets a quick kick, and it's not really going anywhere. But the umpire's picked out a free kick on the stroke of half-time. Which way has he awarded it? He's awarded it to Eastlake, and it's that man Mardling. He's got an opportunity to kick the Demons 5th for the quarter. So he can really inflict some damage here and take some courage and a lot of confidence into the sheds at half-time for the Demons. We'll ride this one home, Michael.
Just got to aim it at the left-hand goalpost, I'd say, and let the natural fade do the rest. He comes in. The kick looks pretty good. Great goal there by Eastlake. That is Mardling's 3rd, and that is their 5th goal of a very, very productive term. They move to 8 goals 8, and that should be about 64. Oh no, 56. How's my maths going? Yep, 56 to Ainslie. 7 goals 3, 45. So a fantastic quarter there by Eastlake. They dominated. As I said, to kick 5 goals 6, so 11 scoring shots to 3 for Ainslie. And in all fairness to them, they should be a bit further in front. They had a lot of the football and peppered the goals, and those last 2 goals were vital. Start of the second half here at Star Trek Oval. It is Eastlake 8-8-56 to Ainslie 7-3-45. Must be something there with Andrews, because he hasn't rucked since about partway through that last term. Gobriel was in the ruck there with Gibson. Ball comes to ground. See, Gobriel gets in the way. Good handball there by Vandenberg. Kick comes out by Crook. Ainslie need to start a lot stronger this term. They ended the second term. Hayne now around the corner, top of the square, tough ball to mark. 2v1 there. Who's got the crumbs? Ball comes down towards the Ainslie player who couldn't take it in Easto. And Eastlake should have cleared. Luck's a fortune. Ainslie have some numbers there. Hayne trying his hardest here. But Eastlake have all the numbers. Handball out there from McMahon. That's Xavier. Gets it out now. Eastlake will clear the danger, and they should take the mark here, and they do in O'Connell. The running player is O'Dwyer. O'Dwyer takes one bounce. About 65 metres from goal. Forces the player to lead to him. That's exactly what we're talking about in that first half, Brett. He demanded the player to come at him, and that player was Ralston. He goes short into the pocket for Gumley. Gumley goes one way, has a ping at the goal. Probably in best set to put that at the top of the square. And the mark has been taken by Crook. Crook goes short to Hurst. Hurst now straight down the line, grandstand wing. Spots up a teammate there in Gawley. Had a reasonable first half, did Gawley. Kicks the half forward line for Ainslie. Should be marked there by Horner. Horner turns. Bit of space there in front of the forwards. Doesn't quite hit the target. Should have done a bit better there. Should Ainslie. Handball there is in the hands of Smith. Got it from O'Dwyer. Handballs across to Bruce. Bruce now goes long to the lead of O'Connell. Good hands there by O'Connell. That's a strong grab. About 55, 60 metres out. Spots up the lead. Can't take the mark there. Can the Eastlake forwards. Ball's in the hands now of Walker. Goes around one way, then the other. Gets the handball across to Kuzner. Kuzner looking for Crook. Goes to the back of the pack, and he should have gone straight to the front of the pack automatically. Good work there by Dwyer. Got the handball off to his teammate there in McMahon. Eastlake again through Dwyer, getting his hands on the ball. Got a feeling I might have caught him stoying off a couple of times in that second term, so apologies to him there. But he's been prominent since about halfway through that second term.
Absolutely, to another guy that's been prominent out there, and that was Matty Lang, who was pulled by foot into the arms of Walker. Walker gallops down towards Bennett, puts it in the area of Bennett. He's got to beat two, and he does well there. He takes them on. It's Josh Bennett, the goal-kicking sensation from the Tricolours, down towards Horner. Horner, the blue-booted Horner. He takes a grab inside the forward 50. He gets a chance to kick Ainslie's for the first after the major break, but other around the grounds, of course, Hawks getting over Mount Gravatt in the final seconds there out at Tuggeranong. They were 55 points down there, and they've done a sterling job to get over the winless Vultures there by 3 points. It's half-time over at the Nest. It's the Queanbeyan Tigers trailing Belconnen 5-4-34, Belconnen 7-9-51 in an interesting clash out there at Kipax. But here at Manuka, it's just a minor score there from Horner, and it gives Eastlake an opportunity who... have got a real point to prove here after half-time, after their last two efforts in previous rounds as 5 and 6. But it's Sam Smith to bring the ball back in for Eastlake here, and he doesn't know what to do with it. He got to go long now, and he brings it out towards the big ruckman in Gibson. He gets a shove in the back, and it's taken away by the speedster in O'Dwyer. It was held when not in possession, but he was good enough to recover. Out towards Gibson, a chain of handballs, and it's brought away by out towards O'Connell. He's shown good promise above his head, the boy from the Riverina. He's giving Marcus Crook a little bit of a lesson out there, who's playing in an unfamiliar role in defence. It's O'Connell. He brings the ball out towards Bruce as they chip the ball around, as they play that tempo footy. They take it off and not allow Ainslie to run and carry it out towards Lang, who's been very good for the Demons today. It's Lang. He looks inboard towards Bruce. His options are now cut off, so they've just got to wait and be patient. It's Wiles who runs up and presents for him. Another left-footer. Wiles goes inboard towards Moody. Moody, who... This is the important kick for Moody. An opportunity for Moody. He's just got to wait and get the right opportunity. Eastlake have got to continue to work for him. It's back playing statistic football. It's back to Wiles. Wiles at centre wing, right on the tradie sign out here at Star Trek Oval in Manuka, and it's in towards O'Dwyer. You can't mistake O'Dwyer and Stoyanov. Stoyanov's wrapped up like a mummy. But it's O'Dwyer who's been very silky with his skills today, and it's out again towards Wiles. Wiles goes inboard towards Moody. Champion Data will be having a field day out here come Wednesday when we get the results, Michael. It's Moody towards Lee McMahon. Now, Lee McMahon as the Eastlake Demons share it around. They haven't moved far off that tradie sign. Still here at the Toyota RAV sign. It's in towards Armstrong, but it's out towards O'Connell. He paddles it towards Bowden.
Brophy Williams, and it's given Ainslie, just waited for the mistake. Walker, he drives it long down towards Hayne. Hayne with a one-on-one battle with Xavier McMahon. Well done, Xavier McMahon. Well done, Hayne, as he's tackled, and the umpire has called a free kick here to Xavier McMahon. I don't know how he picked that one out, but Michael, you worked that one out for us.
Yeah, too high was the call. The Eastlake player went to ground, and the Ainslie player was forced to go high. Good contest and all. Eastlake must have had the ball on that outer side for about 10-15 minutes. Did not gain any meterage, and eventually it come unstuck. But Ainslie just got to start picking up their opponents. Oh, poor kick again out of defence. Ainslie should make them pay here, but the handball's been dropped. Quick kick goes towards the goal. That was by Fleming, and it missed. It's another minor score. 7 goals, 5, 47 to 8, 56 as Eastlake have the ball in their back pocket. Some of the crowd getting a little bit impatient with the style of play that Eastlake have produced in the opening stanza of this third term. Kick goes long. But as we've commented, Brett, they really haven't had the marking power to go that long option, so they are trying to spot up short players, but that can only last so long before mistakes occur, because these aren't, you know, they're not going to pinpoint every single pass, and eventually a mistake will occur.
Absolutely. You can see the experience of the Ainslie players just sweating on the Eastlake player with the football to make the mistake, so they're not actually committing to them. It's actually very good coach. It's like a little game of chess out there at the moment. Eastlake's foot skills aren't good enough to do that, but here back to the footy, it's Horner paddling the ball in front of him. It's he gets an opportunity. He beats 3 or 4 would-be defenders. He rips around onto his right foot and curls it around for what would be a fantastic goal. That's Horner's second. That's the Tricolours' 8th. So that's their first for the second half. So that's a good start by the Tricolours out here at Star Trek Oval, and that'll please Coach Rourke.
The third quarter, the scores are Eastlake 8-8-56, Ainslie 8-5-53.
The tough part about the style of play that Eastlake have adopted is, while it's really difficult to pinpoint passes all the time, they do exert a lot of energy, and it's a lot of waste energy because they don't make any yardage on the football field. So eventually, as you say, the Ainslie players just stood back waiting for that mistake, and all that energy that was exerted by Eastlake on that outer side, they just had the leg speed to backtrack and cover from the mistake. And if they continue to play that style of football, come 15 minutes into the last term, they're going to have no tickets left.
Absolutely. There was 9 efforts to 1 there in that, and it didn't move more than 5 metres. So 9 efforts, so that's 9 repeat efforts. As you say, you just run out of the petrol tickets come the end of the game, and it allowed Walker just to swoop away, gives Horner an opportunity, bang, goal. And the defenders were tired from over-possessing the footy. But back to the footy, it's Crook again. He wins through there, and it's out towards McMahon. He's been quite solid in what he's done today, but it's that man Vandenberg, the improved player in the North Eastern Football League. He's very much improved over towards Toohey. A little bit slow to react, the glove Toohey, but it's well done to Dan O'Connell. He does well there. He's showing maturity beyond his ages there. He puts the ball forward towards Ralston. Got caught in the sun there, got run under the footy, and it's just chipped away there towards, I think it's the defender there in Lockie Highfield. Highfield gets onto the left boot with a poor kick towards that of Gibson. Gibson takes on the opposing player in Goulet, and he did well, but it's over towards Clint Mathis. Mathis gets a hacked kick out of the air, and it was fortuitous, and it lands into the arms of James Eastoe. Eastoe looks down towards the run of Bennett. Bennett and Van Muers. I think Van Muers has probably had the better of that battle today, and Josh Bennett, he's just hurt himself there. I think he's slipped into the boundary line fence in what could be a nasty incident out there. And Van Muers, to his credit, goes over and checks to see if he's okay, Michael.
He's up and about now, so he's okay. Maybe a little bit bruised. Even more so, he hasn't kicked a goal yet today. Kicked 10 last week against Broadbeach, as we said a couple of times. Around the corner there by Horner. It's high. Who can take the mark? Good work there by the Eastlake defence. Again, they seem to have some numbers. They've started this third term pretty well. O'Dwyer's tackle. Should have taken the ball out. Didn't. The umpire's pinned him for holding the ball. I suppose he did do the one revolution. And O'Dwyer, who has been pretty prominent in the last 30-odd minutes, has been pinged for holding the ball. Tough shot, this one. Pinned up against the right forward pocket. Going to come out, swing on his left, and it's going to go just make it. The umpires are having a conversation. It's made it through for a point. So minor score to Ainslie. They move to 8 goals, 6. That's 54. Still 2 points behind Eastlake, who are 8-8, 56. Kicks to himself, does Smith. That's a nice kick. Finds his teammate. Next one should be Moody, and he can go. Moody gets the ball on the half-back line. The kick's a poor one. Looking for his teammate in Stoyanov. Didn't find him. They're the errors we're talking about, Brett. Just that inability to hit a target. The turnover should occur. It doesn't. And the umpire's going to be forced to come in and ball up. But that sort of kick there for Moody, if it had been in the right position, the guy, Stoyanov, could just take and go. And all of a sudden, the forwards have got a reason to move. But right now, the way they're playing, the forwards just going to sit back, wait and prop, and not really have too much certainty of when to go.
Absolutely spot on there, Michael. He had an opportunity there to put them into attack, and all of a sudden, that's when you want the best ball carriers with the ball in hand from that half-back line. Probably look towards the likes of O'Dwyer. I will note that they've made a big change. They've put Xavier McMahon, who's a very good defensive player, back in there on the dangerous Hayne. As it's back into the footy, it's Sam Smith. He gets crunched in a tackle. It's out towards young Bowden. And Bowden is wrapped up in the umpire whistle again, and it's a free kick going towards that of Matty Dwyer. Matty O'Dwyer, the former Swan, out towards Mardling. They've got a real mosquito fleet, but they're not taking him on in that way. Should be using it a la Carlton, like Jeffrey Garlett and Eddie Betts and co. But the ball is just possession around as Mardling looks inboard and he gets tackled and he kicks to it 2-on-1 out towards it's Brophy Williams. He had the ball punched away by Crook. It's out towards the bandaged Ryle, the bandage bear in Ryle. Ryle finds a player out on centre wing. I think it's Moody. Moody looks to spot up a target, yet he misses another target. This is going to beat all comers. No, the Ainslie defender's good enough to get away with it, and it's taken away by Tui, I think it was there for the Tricolours. He bombs the ball long, and it's just a contest now. It's Fleming. He gets a quick handball out, and it's all the players on the ground there as Hurst tries to go in and recover the footy. He gets a little bit high on the Eastlake defender there, and it's Stoyanov who is able to bulldoze his way through out to Lang. Lang with a quick handball over to O'Dwyer. O'Dwyer with a scrubby little kick allows it was Lachlan Highfield to mop up for the Tricolours, and they get a break on the transition to Barry, who's been very good, and he puts in some good work on the afterthought there. It's over to Hayne. Hayne on the left boot down towards the lead of Bennett. Very good below his knees is Bennett. He takes on... and it's young O'Connell. He tries to take on the tackle. It's down to Gobriel and Maiden. The two 14s go at it as Bennett gets slipped over there. It's over towards Barry. He gets a quick handball. I don't know if it was a handball, but it was towards Mathis. Mathis gets it pushed towards the corridor, only as far as Perry. He slips in front of there of Horner, but Perry takes it over to O'Dwyer, and that should be 50 there. But the umpire will hand it back.
Yeah, it wasn't 50, but you really can't afford to put your hand on the player once he takes a mark. Eastlake getting themselves in all sorts of trouble here. Just seem void of ideas. They just really need that key centre-half forward type player to demand the football. Good effort there by the Eastlake player. Ball comes to ground, butters up again, but he's just fighting against 2v1 on most occasions in this third term. Ainslie player goes to ground, gets a handball out now. Good work there by Lachlan Crook. Gets it out wide. O'Dwyer and Crook of the Marcus variety see the ball out of bounds. But you're right about the use of the football there, Brett. Eastlake just need to get their hands on the football and give it to the players who have the good foot skills, McMahon being one, O'Dwyer being the other. Rucks go at it, comes to the back of the pack. Ainslie have the numbers. Goes back. Just going to kick the ball into their half-forward line, looking for their big targets. Haynes, one of them, comes out to meet the ball. Bounce isn't kind. And it's just punched over the line by the Eastlake defence. And that's money for jam for a defender. Eastlake haven't scored in this third term. They are on 8-8-56, their half-time score. Ainslie are 8 goals, 6, and that is 54. We've got any more scores coming from around the grounds, Brett? Rucks go at it again. O'Dwyer gets a good handball. Good work there by Eastlake out of defence. Dan Ryle now spots up a teammate there in Maiden. Maiden always going to turn on his right boot. Spots up the lead. Good pass, good mark taken by Bruce. Need to see a bit more of him. Bruce spots it inboard. Has a teammate there. Takes the mark in Wiles. Wiles now plays on the left boot. Spots up a good switch. Takes the mark there. Out of side is Smith. Smith now Goes inboard, Bowden. This is the key kick now. Spots a player out wide. Takes the mark. Just need a bit more movement in the forward line to Eastlake. It's very stagnant down there. No one's really moving to create space. And that's that uncertainty we're talking about. Because the players don't demand a player to lead, the forwards aren't smart enough at the moment to actually force him to make that decision. And right now, it's playing right into Ainslie hands.
Absolutely. Just to go back, and I don't want to harp on that point, but it's a free kick there, and it's a barrel torpedo there from Hayne. He puts it well over the Rab force line. That's travelled about 65, 70 metres to the advantage of his side. It's a speculator, but it's just rushed over the boundary line. Xavier McMahon had the football there, and he could see that his small forward in Mardling was leading at him, but the player on Mardling was 2 or 3 foot taller than him, so the option taking was just poor, and it's that decision making. I guess the worrying sign for Eastlake, some of their better players are their less inexperienced players. That's the really worrying thing out here at if they're going to be successful. But it's Fleming who gets the ball forward for the tricolours into the arms of Crook. Dropped what he should have taken. He's good enough to recover. He trips around onto the left boot, down towards that of Bennett. Bennett gets one over Van Meurs, but Van Meurs, ever reliable, he rushes it through in what's been an enthralling contest. I think Van Meurs has got the points at this early stage, so they get another one back to the tricolours, but it's Van Meurs to bring the ball back in. They didn't look further afield, to look to break the play open. It's always that short kick, that get out of jail kick. Sometimes you've got to look further afield. So anyway, it's into Wiles. They'll just chip it around here. Ainslie will be patient and wait for the mistake. It's over to Van Meurs. Van Meurs, he goes back. He's looking for a player to look. You're going to have to look and go down the line, but it's Stoyanov. No, it's Ryle, the Bandage Bears. A lot of blokes out there with a lot of strapping on their torsos and so forth. It's Armstrong who presents with high hands, so that's a better start from Hayden Armstrong. Armstrong now with an important decision to make. Where will he go? And he is a little bit indecisive as he holds the ball up as the cries flow right over the middle of the ground here. But it's right into the arms of the Ainslie defender in Highfield. So that's the kick that we were talking about. It's Lachlan Highfield. He gets a long left footer down inside the driving 50, and it's down towards that man Hayne again. He's been the most damaging player inside the forward 50. He gets another opportunity on goal and another opportunity for the tricolour second for the quarter.
He's already kicked 3, but again, it's just that short kick from Eastlake. It's got him in trouble today, and in all honesty, Brett, it's been their style of play for about maybe 3 or 4 or 5 seasons now, and I just don't know if it's sustainable. I don't know if it's going to win them a premiership. Obviously, this year, it's not going to win them a premiership, perhaps. Lovely kick there by Hayne. That's his 3rd of the afternoon, and Ainslie take the lead. They move to 9 goals, 7. That's 61 to 8-8, 56.
56, Ainslie, 9-7, 61.
Just not quite sure that this is a style of play that Eastlake want to be using to go further in September. As we look at the scoreline in Melbourne, it's Essendon. Got the lead back. It's 10-15-75. GWS have stopped. They're on 8 goals, 9, 57 after a 7-goal term to the Bombers. So they should win. I do know that Stanton went off injured. I'm not sure how serious that was. Ball's back in the middle. That's got to be rebounced, surely. Picked up by McMahon. Goes towards Ralston. Good work there by Ash Harris. Just seem to have all the answers. And even the Eastlake forwards, when they do get the opportunity, their first movement is to go behind their opponent. I'm just baffled by that. Eastlake, get another chance. That's a better looking kick. Long and strong. Eastlake now, this is the important kick, and they miss the target again, looking for Gumley, and all he can do is force the ball over the line. But when you do lead that wide, if you don't take the mark, the only thing that's going to occur, and it's a defender's luxury, is the boundary line. And Ainslie are definitely happy with the way Eastlake are playing their football at the moment. Just not sure if there's a plan B, Brett.
I think you're spot on. I think Ainslie will just wait and play. It's the speedy Sean Ellis. He takes the ball away from the clearance there with a long kick over the line and his ability down towards that man Hayne. Looks like Crook's gone forward. It's Perry who panics there. You've got to be strong and assertive when you get the ball in that area there, but he was good enough to recover, and he runs it over the boundary line. But when you do punch, you've got to punch with authority and not just tap the ball up in the air to give the small forwards an opportunity to run.
a number of occasions out there, Eastlake have had opportunities to run and break the lines, and there's been some indecisiveness out there from the half-back line where they've had opportunities to break the lines, and they're just the inability to be able to do that. And here's Wiles again. He'll short chip over there, and it's out towards that of Gibson. Gibson in front with a strong chest mark. He gets it to the run of Stoyanov. Stoyanov tries to take on Ellis. He was strong enough to take him and hold him off out of the contest, but yet again another poor kick straight into the arms of the Eastlake player. But Hayden Armstrong, he was good enough to get the punch away. He puts it up and towards the air of Mardling. They've got out of jail here of the Demons. Mardling gets a chance to spot up Ralston, and he tried to really drill him and put a hole through his chest. He tried to make it number 34 instead of 32, but Walker, he's good enough, and the Ainslie back six are good enough to defend. It's over there towards the run of Jack Kuzner. He gets a scrubber out of the back line there, straight down the arms of Dan Roll. Drops what he should have taken, tackled heavily there by Nick Hayne, and it'll be a ball up there as they're wrapped up as Rowan Andrews reappears after a long stint on the sideline. Michael, he has struggled with a bit of injury trouble this year, but he looks like he's okay out there. He gets a free run at it. Goulet and Gibson go at it. It's out towards that man Vandenberg. He tries to take on 4 or 5 would-be Eastlake Demon tacklers, but it lands into the arms, I think, of the Crook variety. In Lachlan Crook, he gets wrapped up, and we'll have another boundary line right on the 50 line here at Star Trek Oval.
Ainslie lead 9-7 to Eastlake's, yet to add to their half-time score of 8-8. And that would be concerning. Handball out. Here's an opportunity for them now. Picked up there by Lang. Just had to go long, but went short to O'Connell. He's been a pretty good option in this third term, but that was a wrong choice there. What was that kick? About 10 metres sideways. I just don't understand it when you're running directly towards your goal. And we have another stoppage. And this suits Ainslie down to the ground. Neither up and get that. McMahon gets it out to O'Connell. Kick smothered. Picked off here by Easto. Ainslie puts some pressure on. So do Eastlake. Good work here by O'Connell. Gets a quick kick. I've liked his quarter so far, O'Connell. How will this go? Ainslie get the kick off the ground, but Eastlake had the numbers at the fall of the ball. Lang, Ralston, picked off here. Mardling. Oh, dummies around nicely. Runs into the open goal. And that's a much-needed goal. And he has been the one saving grace down there has Mardling. That's his 4th. And Eastlake get their 9th. It's 9-8, 62 to 8-7. And that should be, 9-7, I should say. And that is 61.
The Demons, Mardling gets his 4th for the afternoon. He's looked very clever and very dangerous down there as a small forward. Is he playing his way into a representative jumper? Time will tell, because they are looking for a small forward as the ball's been brought back to the middle of the ground. And the rucks will go at it. It is Brophy Williams giving Gibson a bit of a chop out there. And this is the time Horner do battle with Brophy Williams as the two ruckmen, the second stringers, so to speak, to go at it. The umpire with a poor bounce towards the favour there of Brophy Williams. Probably should have called it back. Out towards Ellis. He shuffles it out, and it's now Lee McMahon over the footy. He gets pushed in the back, but the umpire allows the play to go on. It's a quick kick out there by Hurst. Out towards the silky skills of O'Dwyer, but it's Matt Lang out towards Gumley, who's gone down to the back 50 now, only as far as Hurst, and he's been quite good, the number 40 for the Tricolours out there. He's looked quite promising, and he's found a bloke in space in Marcus Crook. Marcus Crook, 45 metres out, 47 metres out. He's looking to pass off, but he should just go back like all good senior players do, Michael, and have a shot at goal and what could be the Tricolours' 3rd for the quarter, the premiership quarter as they call it in football, here at Star Trek Oval, Monica. As he does, he lines up. He'll have to aim at the far left goalpost, and he does that. And I think he's put it through, has he? Or has he just pushed it wide? No, he has. He put it through. He kicked truly. That's a good kick from Marcus Crook. That, I think, is his 1st for the afternoon. So another good score there and a good start by the Tricolours. That'll be pleasing Coach Rourke.
They've definitely probably got a razzing at half-time with the way they played in that second term. They were totally outclassed in the second term of Ainslie. They've come out firing in this third term. They've kicked 3 goals for. Eastlake have only managed the 1 goal. But again, it was that poor kick by Gumley coming out of defence. And the problem is when everyone's running from defence, you only need one bloke to suck back from Ainslie. Mistake was made, and Crook, too smart, took the mark and went back and kicked a nice goal from the 50-metre line. Rucks go out again. The umpire hasn't had too much luck with the bouncing of the ball in this term. Refused to call it back, though, so fair play to him. And the players wrestle the ball to ground. One of the players there is O'Connell. Pack forms. Common sense has to prevail here, but he lets it go along. Again, good tackle there by Ainslie. The pressure has lifted by them. That might be Mathis. Get it out of the pack. Johnny Van Meurs didn't really get a glove on that. Had to get something on it. Picked up by Perry. Perry handballs to O'Dwyer. O'Dwyer goes backwards. Long kick out. It's only going to come straight back, though, as a good mark taken by Gawley. Gawley now goes short to the lead of Hayne. It's a good kick and a good lead. There's plenty of space in front of him, and that's that decisive lead that we were talking about. We've been talking about it for probably an hour now, and that's exactly how you do it. Demand the footy and force the ball carrier to kick straight to you.
Not to be critical of Xavier McMahon, but he hasn't played a lot of footy in the last 12 months. But there was a repeat effort where he got caught out, where Hayne just caught him napping. He got the quick kick away, was Xavier McMahon, and the ball came in quite quickly from Goulet, and you could just see the work rate of Hayne where he just took him out, saw his opposition defender was lagging, and bang, and now it's going to result in a shot on goal. He's kicking for his fourth, Nick Hayne, right on the three-quarter time siren. I think he's done a great job there, Nick Hayne, and that was their fourth for the quarter. So the Tricolours, they have had a fantastic third quarter, as that seemed to be a very short quarter, Michael, here at Star Track Oval. But a good one to the Tricolours as they lead 11-7-73 to 9-8-62. So the Demons only kicking the one goal in that quarter. So very, very a poor quarter from their standards. And there must be something in the water at half-time there in the Eastlake sheds.
Start of the last term, not far away here at Star Track Oval. It's the Tricolours leading 11 goals, 7-73 to the Eastlake Demons, 9-8-62. Eastlake will be desperate for the first goal in this last term. They were battered in that third term where Ainslie kicked 4-4 to the 1. Gibson, they need him to stamp some form of authority on the game. Good handball there by Smith. I haven't minded Smith's game. He's tried every single quarter. Lazy kick by McMahon. He's better than that. Ball's in the hands there of Barry. Barry handballs over to his teammate in Vandenberg. Vandenberg, we spoke a lot about him. Is that a push? No, umpire says no. If Ainslie get the first goal of the term, it could be shut the gate. Good pass there and a good stretch there by Hayne. But it's all down to the pass there by Horner, and Hayne has the opportunity to kick his fifth goal and definitely put his name up as far as the selectors are concerned for the rep side, Brett.
Absolutely, Michael. Clever play there by Bennett, who found the inside run of Horner onto the goal side, allows Hayne. It might be time to look at Van Meurs onto Hayne. He's probably giving Xavier McMahon a little bit of a football lesson. I think Van Meurs has had the better of Josh Bennett out there today, so he can take the credit there, but he makes no mistake with, oh, yes, he does. It fades at the last minute, and it's a behind. But it's an interesting statistic. Most of the goals have been scored down towards that Kingston end, Michael, here today at Manuka Oval. Not a real big scoring end here at what we call the church end, but it's Smith who kicks himself. He brings it in. He kicks over the line. That's not a bad kick there from young Sam Smith, and it's 2 or 3 on 1, and it'll be a free kick. He's called a shepherd there out towards, it'll be a free kick to Big Gibson, and then McMahon kicks the ball back to Gibson. Let's see what he does with this. He'll drive it long. He'll get the big boot onto it. Chad Gibson, no, he makes a liar out of him. He kicks it short to McMahon in the green boots. You can't miss him out there. Right on the nab sign here at Star Track Oval, Manuka, and he gets another short kick out towards Bowden. It is on the centre wing. This is the important kick going inside the forward 50. The umpire's whistle's gone out there, but it's play on. It's Rob Toohey taking all comers on. Was caught a little bit high by McMahon, but the umpire allows the play to go on. Harris gets caught at the bottom of the pack, and he wins himself a free kick. Ash Harris been very productive out there for the Tricolours today. It's Ash Harris, the number 9, the left footer. A lot of left footers out there in both sides today. It finds to the work of Horner. Horner with a quick kick to Barry. Barry with another kick towards Crook. Crook with the different coloured shoelaces out there in the boots. He's got orange in one and white in the other. It's Crook onto the left foot. He gets it up long and high
towards that of Bennett. Bennett works the front spot. Van Muers lays off his man, but it's down towards, I think it was, it's a goal there. No, it's just trickled over the line. I think it was Hurst with the quick snap, but it's still in play. It hasn't gone anywhere. It's out to Sean Ellis. He gets a quick kick on the right foot, only as far as Benny House, and Benny House knocks it over to the boundary line. It'll be a boundary line throw in deep in the Ainslie goal, gives them another scoring opportunity in this last quarter in what's anyone's game here at Star Track Oval.
It sure is anyone's game, but Eastlake would need to get a hurry up. They need the first goal. Was that a push in the back from Gibson? Umpire said no. Pack forms, players desperate to try and get the ball out. This will suit Ainslie. They don't mind. They've been pretty good at the stoppages so far today. Umpire's got a decision to make. And he decides that the ball is his. And we'll have a ball up about 12 metres out from the Ainslie goal, directly in front. Tapped down to a dangerous spot towards Ellis. It might be. It should be in the back. I'm not quite sure why the Eastlake player tapped it towards the goal square. I think that player was Wiles. And Ellis plays on and kicks the goal. Will that be allowed? Yes, it will. Ellis has kicked his third. And Ainslie get the opening goal of the final term. They move to 12 goals 8-80 to Eastlake 9-8-62. They've only had one scoring shot since half-time, Brett, and that is a telling statistic.
Absolutely. As I said, there might have been something in the dressing sheds water after half-time, particularly when you look at their last performances against GWS. They had a very poor last half last week against the GWS here. They also had a very poor last start. I think it was against Queanbeyan out at Dairy Farmers Stadium. So a little bit of work to work on there for Coach Burke and the all-star team of coaches there at Eastlake. But it's back to the centre of the ground here at Star Track Oval in Manuka. It's Gibson to do battle with Gabriel. He must be having an injury. Is Andrews, because he hasn't returned after that brief little sojourn for about 4 or 5 minutes, but it's punched away from Moody. It's Barry. He's been quite productive for the Tricolours. It's Wiles, hand in foot. He just chips it away down towards that of Lang, who's faded out of the game, to the run of Stoyanov. Stoyanov gets an opportunity to drive the ball down towards goals, and it just it fails to register a score, and it's over the boundary line. We're a boundary line throw in here, deep inside the Eastlake forward 50. An opportunity to score here. Their stoppage play, Michael, needs a little bit of work as well, the Demons. They haven't really scored a lot of goals from stoppages.
No, they haven't. They've got an opportunity here, though, and this would get them right back in the game. But again, it's Ainslie who have been, in contrast, really good at the stoppages. Good tackle there by the against the Eastlake player. Should have been holding the ball. Good tackle there by Horner. Ball's in the hands of Moody. Kicks it to the top of the square. Who wants it the most? Goes to the back of the pack. Eastlake trying to keep it in. That's a good handball. Lang just got to dribble it through. Good smother. Picked up by Bruce. Handball to Ralston. They've got to get a goal here, surely. And they do. They made hard work of it. And Ralston gets his first of the afternoon and his 11th of the season. Much needed goal to the Demons. They get one back. They're 10-8-68, trailing Ainslie, who are on 12-8-80. And we have a score. It's three-quarter time out there at the Nest. It's the Belconnen Magpies 12-12-84. Queanbeyan Tigers 10-5-65. So plenty of work to be done by the undefeated reigning premiers. And this would definitely be a shock result. Maybe not to some of the Belconnen people, but definitely to the rest of the footballing community in the NEAFL. Eastlake get the ball out of the middle again. But the mark has been taken in defence. Chips the ball out to Barry. Barry over across to Ellis. Ellis now. He's kicked 3 goals. He's done his job. Good work there by John Van Muers. Now this is a kick. He's got to take and go, but he doesn't. Decides to stop prop. And that's Moody. Crowd calling for him to hurry it up. And here goes that chip stuff again. Wiles now goes long. Ralston makes a contest. He's there again. McMahon on his left. This is a beautiful kick, McMahon. That's how you use the football. And the mark has been taken about 15 metres out. And it should be a goal here to Dan Ryle. And this will be back-to-back goals. It's been a long time since Eastlake kicked back-to-back goals. Ryle will kick from about 20, 25 metres. Shouldn't have any mistake. Straight over the umpire's hat. Nice kick. And Eastlake get their second of the term. They move to 11 goals, 8, 74. Ainslie, a 12, 8, 80. 6-point ball game, Brett.
Yeah, well done to Lee McMahon there. It just showed all his experience there. But that short chip football, I guess we can refer it to as junk football. We've commented here many times that we don't like the style of play. It certainly doesn't win you games through the longevity of the season that it is. It might win you a couple, but it doesn't stand the test of time. But nonetheless, the Eastlake's still in the hunt, and that's his first for the afternoon. Ryle, as the ball is brought back to the middle of the ground. It's Gobriel to do battle with Gibson, as the umpire in umpire appreciation round has bounced with a good bounce in the middle of the ground. Gobriel gets high, it lands in his hands. He gets a quick clearance out of the middle of the ground towards Sammy Smith, who's been quite good out there today for the Demons. Only as far as Barry, been another solid contributor for the Tricolours. He gets it onto his left boot. He gets it down towards that of Hurst, only as far as it's Crook down there. But Van Meurs beats all comers. He gets a quick handball towards that of Smith. And Vandenberg gets tackled heavily by Sam Smith. We'll see another boundary line throw in about 65 metres from the Tricolours goal. Anyone's game. Are they good enough, the Demons, or will the Tricolours prevail and go back-to-back for season 2013 and get their season on track? Of course, it's anyone's game out there at Kipax, and ladder positions up for grabs here in the NEAFL 2013 season. So that's a free kick to... It's going to be a free kick back here to Sean Ellis. He's been quite productive there for the Tricolours as well. Sean Ellis, he takes them on with a zip there with another left footer, and he puts it inside there towards that of a Crook. It was beaten by Gumley. Gumley, who's gone down to the back half into the safe hands of Johnny Van Meurs. Van Meurs with a quick handball over to O'Dwyer. O'Dwyer a little bit indecisive. Doesn't have that long get out of jail quick card. He gets it down only as far as Horner, and it's going to come back sailing over his head, Michael.
Kicks in towards the forward 50. Drop mark there by Lee McMahon. They need to be taking every opportunity here to Westlake. Gibson just needs to get angry and put some impetus on this game. It's going to come straight back through. Ellis takes the mark, plays on immediately, goes short. And that's good football there by Ellis. Spots up his teammate. Is that Horner out there? It's Fleming. And Fleming, the former Swan Districts junior, will line up for a needed goal by Ainslie. They've been under the pump in the opening parts of this last term, and this will be a steadier. Kicks on its way, just pushed out to the right-hand side, punched through for a minor score, and Ainslie moved to 12 goals, 9. That's 81 to Eastlake. They are on 11 goals, 8, 74. Short kick to O'Dwyer. Don't mind that because this guy can use the football. O'Dwyer goes out wide to Van Meurs. Again, he goes short to Smith. Here's that mistake. We've talked about it most of the game. Could be the first goal coming up. That could well be a heartbreaker and a coach killer as Josh Bennett gets his first and Ainslie pull clear. They're 13 goals, 9. That's what? Oh, you do the math. I can't be bothered anymore.
It's the Tricolours bounding away here. Have Eastlake got anything left in the tank? Time will tell. But that's Bennett's, who's been well held by Johnny Van Meurs down there. That was his first for the afternoon. Of course, coming off a bag of 10 last week up against Broadbeach. You'd have to say John Van Meurs has done a sterling job on Bennett. But as the big men go at it in the middle of the ground again, it'll be Gibson to do battle with Gobriel. The umpires changed sides. It's the umpire appreciation round for all of the AFL here in Canberra this weekend and all the cross-conference games. It's Gobriel who gets high, doesn't get hands on the ball. Gibson stands his ground. He gets a quick kick towards O'Connell. O'Connell, he's been busy in the bottom of all the packs and he's been legged and he's been called a free kick there. So it's going to be a free kick to Hayne. I don't know how he's picked that one out, but... he has, and it's a free kick to Nick Hayne, who's probably been close to one of the best on the ground, Michael Neeson, the former Queanbeyan spearhead, premiership winning full forward, and of course leading goal kicker on multiple occasions. Out there towards Horner, the lead of Horner. Hasn't really done a lot today, but just imposed himself at the right times, and he gives it across to his teammate in Walker. Walker with a spearing kick towards Crook. He dropped what he should have taken. Now it's out to Stoyanov. Stoyanov is a solidly built lad. He gets it down the centre of the wing towards Ralston, but it's that man Mardling. Ralston picks it up out with a quick handball to Mardling. Mardling with a shot on goal outside 50. Will it roll through for Sam Mardling's 5th goal? You betcha. Sam Mardling, take a bow. You've been a very good player for the Eastlake Demons. 5 goals for the afternoon. That takes the Demons. That's their 3rd for the quarter. So it is Eastlake now 80 to 87. So the Tricolours leading here by 7 points.
At the 13-minute mark, the scores are Eastlake 12 goals, 880, Ainslie 13 goals, 987.
17-minute mark apparently, so we've still got plenty of time here at Star Track Oval here in Manuka. 13-9-87 to 12 goals, 880. 3 goals to 2 in this term, pretty even term. But that last goal by Ainslie, where it was the kick was poor. Sorry, the last kick by Eastlake, where it was poor, could come back to haunt them later on. That's tackled without the football. Surely it's Maiden's free kick. Allowed to play on, good umpiring. Kicked in the forward 50. Ralston's down there. Good mark there by Ralston. Used his body nicely and took the falling one-hander. He's kicked one this afternoon. Just needs to go back, use all his experience and slot this one through to make it a 1-point ball game. Kicked 11 goals this season so far to be the leading goal scorer. No, he's not now. Mardling with his 5 is. He's kicked 14. And Ralston has kicked 11, so bit of a personal battle between those two. Ralston from about 45 metres. Good looking kick off the boot. It's straight through the middle. And Eastlake are back. It's Ainslie. 13 goals, 987. Eastlake 13 goals, 886.
Just as an interesting side note, 18 goals have been scored down that Kingston end, Michael, so for both sides. So it must be the scoring end here at Marnicle. So that's a big impost for Ainslie to work against, because both sides are scoring heavily at that Kingston end. But the Demons have got it themselves within reach. Are they good enough to go on with it? Time will tell. Will the class and experience of Ainslie be good enough here to take the points? Both sides needing the win for 2013 to keep their finals hopes alive if they're to figure in finals football, as the umpire calls a blood rule against, I think it's Vandenberg out there. Yes, he does. As we take time out, we might go around the ground and see if we can get one from the nest over there at Kipax and bring you up to date there. See if we can get one there. We can't get a score from that, but it's Aaron Vandenberg who's been replaced by Sean Ellis for a blood rule. And the umpire will go bounce. Probably suits Eastlake to have a little bit of a breather there. So as the runner comes onto the field for the Tricolours, the umpire bounces it down. It's Brophy Williams against Gobriel. Gobriel gets first hand to the footy as Nick Haynes gone into the middle of the ground. Gumley gets a quick kick away, only as far as Lachlan Crookie. He gets a handball over. No, he's been tackled as that was a solid tackle there by O'Dwyer, I think, and he's been rewarded with that. So quite a lucky free kick there, but Lachlan Crook, he gets a quick kick away over to his partner in crime in Jed Costigan. He's playing on the back flank now after earlier floating forward. Oh, he's taken on Sam Mardling by hand. It's over to Lachlan Crook, out to Costigan. He's another left footer out there, out towards Hayne. It's a 3-on-1 over to Walker. Walker with a dummy over towards Horner, but only as far as the Eastlake player in O'Connell. O'Connell back to O'Dwyer. Wiles back to O'Dwyer. O'Dwyer with a big kick down the middle of the ground, but only as far as Lachlan Crook for the Tricolours.
Crook out of side half-back line for Ainslie. Leading by 1 behind here at Star Track Oval in Manuka. Good mark taken there by Walker. Plays on immediately. Got the loose player in Ellis. Ellis spots up the lead of the full forward. Oh, should have taken that. Is that going to be a free kick from the back? Umpire says no. And Van Meurs will tidy up with a bit of a scrubby looking kick. Still not out of the danger zone for Eastlake. Van Meurs gets it back by hand. Again, uses the handball over the top. And Eastlake will clear the danger. As we have a final score, is it? Essendon, 17 goals, 18, 120, have defeated the Gilo West Giants, 12 goals, 9, 81. So a nice first half for the Gilo West, but Essendon kicked, I think, 14 goals in that second half to run out winners. Half forward line for Ainslie. This is Crook. Kicks it long with the left boot, asking a bit of his forwards with that one. Punched away. Good sharking there by the Eastlake Demons. They can smell a bit here at the moment, but not with. They can smell the ball coming back after that kick, that's for sure. It's not what they needed. They're looking okay here, Eastlake. Just need to have a bit more composure with the football. They're young, they're enthusiastic. Just need to calm down when they've got the footy. And Ainslie will send the ball deep into their forward line again, about 40 metres out, asking again a lot of their full 40. Probably should have taken the mark in the end. Ellis, the umpire's blown the whistle. That should be 50. It's not going to be. I think the free kick might have been against Bennett for a push. Sort of double teaming at the moment there, Brett, and they really got to find another option down there. Dewayne, they keep kicking it to Bennett. Yes, he has kicked more goals than anyone else in the competition, but sometimes he's not going to be the right option.
Absolutely. Full credit to Johnny Van Mills, has held him just to 1 goal late in this fourth quarter, so it's out to Smith. His run and carry's been important for Eastlake. He gets too close to the man on the mark. It was a little bit indecisive, but he's got players around him. It's over towards that of Brophy Williams. He decides to take the ball between the horns and push it down towards that man Mardling, who's been super impressive out there today, as there's the young boy in O'Connell. O'Connell out to Stoynoff. Stoynoff was caught high. Unluckily not to get a free kick, but the umpire allows play to go on, and it'll result in a boundary, a ball up there right on the 50 line, right in front of Eastlake's goal. Are they good enough to get the next one to really mount a challenge here and make it a 1-point ball game at Star Trek Oval? It's over to Barry. Barry rips it onto the left foot, down towards Ellis. Hayne working front and centre. Not good enough as Armstrong falls over the footy and he's tackled by Hayne. Didn't make any real attempt to get rid of the footy. Will the umpire? Yes, he has. He's called a push in the back. I thought he was going to penalise him for not making a serious enough attempt. But no, it's actually young Scott Bowden who emerges with the football out to the experience of McMahon. McMahon down there towards Armstrong, dropped what he should have taken, gives the Ainslie defender in Highfield an opportunity to butter up, but it's only as far as that of Kuzner. Kuzner for Ainslie. Now he gets an opportunity to slow the play down. He doesn't do that towards Mardling, who beats Goulet, and the umpire has awarded the mark to Goulet there. I thought both players had a claim on the footy, but the man in front was Goulet. He's been solid for Ainslie today. He puts the ball long down the line as Crook's caught behind and drops what he should have taken was Ben House. It gives the Ainslie forward in Crook an opportunity to get it, but it's now umpires called holding the ball. It'll be a free kick going the way of Xavier McMahon, is it? No, he's paid it to Sam Smith. So young Sam Smith gets to another attacking foray for the Demons. Are they good enough to get out of it from here? It's about the 20-minute mark of the last quarter here at Star Trek Oval. A short chip kick in towards Lang, who's faded out of the game after a promising first half. Lang. Got to hurry up if they want to get some scoreboard pressure and put the onus back there into Dwyer. He faded out of the game after half-time, but showed us he's got enough skill level to take the game to another level and take it by the scruff of the neck. O'Dwyer kicks long down the line.
Punched away by the Ainslie defence. Good work there by Dale Walker. But again, Ralston just seems to want to be content to go behind his opponent. You've really got to start getting in front. The game's there to be won. The game needs a hero. Who's it going to be? It's a 1-point ball game to Ainslie. Ball's in their hands now. Eastlake have hit the front. Eastlake have hit the front. Good goal there by Stoyanov. They've kicked 5 goals in this last term, and they go 13, 14. 14 goals, 8, 92 to Ainslie. They are 13 goals, 9, 87. Good work by Eastlake. Always thought they were going to come back after I said they were down and out at 3/4 time. So I've been made to look a bit of a goose. Not for the first time and not for the last time, that's for sure. But Eastlake have had all the running right about that end. Hasn't been too many goals scored up at the church end here at Star Trek. No reason for it. There's not much of it. There's no breeze at all to speak of, really. The ground isn't any slopier than it was back in my day or your day, so I'm not quite sure what it is. But most of the goals have been kicked at the pool end. And we're back in the middle. I think Ainslie have definitely lost a bit without Andrews in the middle. They get an opportunity now through Hayne. They've thrown him into the middle, trying to get some ball out Good work there by the Eastlake player, but Ellis, he's been dangerous. Is that a free kick to Johnny Van Mules? It probably should be. Going to cost a goal because it wasn't paid. And Bennett gets his second, pretty fortuitously, I thought. And Ainslie respond. They are 14 goals, 9. That's 93. To 13 goals, 8, 92. 1 point ball game here at Star Trek in Monica.
Eastlake 14 goals, 8, 92. Ainslie 14 goals, 9, 93.
A 1 point game here at the 23-minute mark of the fourth quarter. Star Trek Oval, Monica. Who wants it more? That was a good clearance by Nick Hayne, getting it down to the dangerous forwards in Bennett. He was good enough to get away with it, but it was the pace of Ellis that worried them through the middle of the ground. What's the umpire called here? It's a free kick towards Eastlake in the middle of the ground. It was an infringement in the centre square, but as far as O'Dwyer, there's a bit of confusion reigning out there. And it looks like Tui, the experienced Ainslie defender's given away a free kick to, who is it out there? I think it's Ben House for the Demons. He gets an opportunity to go back and make a name for himself. Benny House, you'll bring the house down here at Monica. 24-minute mark. He looks confident. He's taken the bit between the teeth. He comes in. Actually, it's Nick Perry. He gets a long shot at it, Nick Perry, and he drives it wide just for a minor behind. So Nick Perry's been pushed forward in an effort to win the game for Eastlake, but it's 93 all here at Star Trek Oval in Monica. Who's going to be the victor? Who's going to climb up the ladder? But it's only as far as Rob Tui in front of Maiden. Should be 50. Got in his back after the ball and was safely marked. So Tui just needs to take it off the mark.
Chips it short. Mark's taken here by Lachlan Crook. Game needs a hero. Who's going to put their hand up? Oh, nasty there by Horner. Not sure if that's hyperextension or not. He's come down pretty properly. Ball's out of bounds in front of the Ainslie dugout. They held an 11-point lead at three-quarter time. It's now all square. Rucks will go at it again. Oh, good work there by Horn as a third man up. Eastlake, they've got the bit between their teeth at the moment. Momentum is with them. They've kicked 5 goals in this last term. Ainslie have kicked 3. Can't be long to go. Maybe a couple of minutes more. Enough time for a goal or 2. Rucks go at it again. Marcus Crook takes it, doesn't take it. Got tackled without the football in the end. O'Dwyer uses his pace and his skills. Goes towards the boundary line, too far across the boundary line, and it's out of bounds. And the relieving free kick will be taken by Kuzner for Ainslie. And they need to go downtown all the way. Both teams sitting on 2 wins apiece. Ainslie in fifth position and Eastlake in 7th. So it's a vital game, particularly if the game at Kippax continues the way it is with Belconnen in front of Queanbeyan. Free kick to Ainslie, too high, and Vandenberg needs to get the ball on quickly, does so. It's a good kick. Eastlake needs a man up down the back. Costigan goes down the line. Oh, nearly a good grab taken there by Bennett, but the ball goes out of bounds in front of the Eastlake dugout. And I'll give the microphone over to a former Eastlake player in Brett Davis.
Thank you, Michael. As could we be headed for the first draw of season 2013? It's 93 apiece here at Star Trek Oval, Monica, as Crook gets the ball away. He's been held onto by McMahon. Showed his experience there without overcommitting for the free kick. Over to Brophy Williams, too slow hand by foot. He was wrapped up with a footy. It's Sam Smith who gets a hurried kick away. Maiden was held onto without the footy. It's over to Vandenberg. That extra fitness is really helping out to Kuzner. Kuzner gets the ball down towards that of Hurst. He's been a good player all day. Sorry, that was Harris with the ball in the hand. Experienced Ash Harris. He gets it over to young Jeremy Hurst. Hurst gets an opportunity to push it forward for the tricolours. He puts it down the throat towards Bennett. Bennett out towards that of Campbell. Campbell with a handball over to Bennett. Bennett with a poor kick. He had Haynes streaming through, unaccounted for. Could have kicked the sealer. It's gone out of bounds on the full, Michael. Josh Bennett, he's having one of those days.
Oh, I'm not going to comment on that. All he had to do was dink it over the top to Hayne. Tried to be the hero himself. I know full forwards don't mind the limelight, but the team play was what was required then. Would have been a stand-up walk-in goal to Hayne. And that will be talked about, win, lose or draw here. Eastlake now through O'Connell, liked his second half. Oh, drop mark, there's mistakes everywhere. It's going to be who's the cleanest and who makes the least mistakes that prevail here. O'Connell puts his body on the line again. Good tackle. Great work there by Mardling. O'Connell gets the ball into the forward line. Punch down. Easto gets out of bounds, surely, umpire. Looked like it from here, but you're a bit closer than us. Goes towards his teammate in Horner. Good kick forward. Now the race is on. Here comes Crook. It's 3v1. Crook picks up the ball about 60 metres out, squares it, looking for his teammate in Campbell. Campbell runs on, and Campbell has kicked a point. He's hit the post. Could you believe it? But it could be a pretty important point. It is Ainslie 94 to Eastlake 93. Can't be long to go, Brett. And Eastlake need to find a winner from somewhere.
Absolutely. Let's see how they go in the transition. Go coast to coast as Gumley brings the ball back in, and they're reliving that semi-final from last year, but only as far as Goulet. He's been important in this last quarter with his height and reach. Goulet elects to take something off the clock. Must be about 26, 27 minutes here. Star Trek Oval last quarter. Who's going to be the victor? Will it be Eastlake or will it be the Tricolours? They're playing for the D-Day trophy, and it's put towards that man Hayne, who showed his class inside the 50. It's not Hayne, actually. It's Clint Mathis, who has just bobbed up. He's kicked 2 for the day. Limited opportunities. He's got an opportunity here to put the game out of reach for the Demons, but it's Clint Mathis lining up for goal, and it's a difficult angle. So can there be a mark on the line for the Demons to bring it coast to coast? But Clint Mathis gets an opportunity to make a name for himself. He's had a bit of a horror run with injury, young Clint Mathis, since crossing from the creek. But he comes in and he kicks it nicely off the boot. The players like it. The umpire likes it. Thank you, if you don't mind. Clint Mathis, 3 for the afternoon. A good day at the office for the returning player from injury. So that's the Tricolours now leading 100 to 93.
The score is Eastlake 14 goals 9, 93. Ainslie 15 goals 10, 100.
So a 7-point margin here at Star Trek Oval. Michael, I think the Tricolours have done enough to get home and take the points for this one.
Yeah, it can only be about 1, maybe 2 minutes, and Eastlake need 2 scoring opportunities. And you'd think that Ainslie will just flood a few more numbers back in defence. They need something clean out of the middle here, do Eastlake. The tightness of the scores have really made it entertaining in the second half. Ainslie get the ball out of the middle, quick kick towards their half-forward line. Good combat there, combatants there in Horner. And his opponent there might have been, who was that for Eastlake? Number 44 in McMahon. He's actually been pretty good in the second half when he's gone down in defence. And the rucks will go at it again. It's like Lee McMahon in the ruck for Eastlake. Ball comes down. Oh, it's got to be too high, umpire, please. And Vandenberg has been pretty solid most of the afternoon. He will take the free kick. And Ainslie have a few players back behind the ball. Eastlake need to man up. They need every player. This should be 50. You can't push a bloke after he's taken the mark. And they will continue to go backwards, will Ainslie. The clock is in there, is on their side here. Eastlake need to man up every single player and force them to kick long. No one's on the mark. Lack of discipline there by Eastlake. Goes towards Cook, can't take the mark. Van Meurs is in there. Oh, it's a good tackle by Van Meurs. There's a siren. In a really good contest in the end, it is the Ainslie Tricolours who have prevailed. 15 goals, 10, 100 to the Eastlake Demons, who battled really manfully in that last term, kicking 5 goals, to go 14 goals, 9, 93. 7-point ball game here at Star Trek Oval.